I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regret. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks.
Oh man, we're live. It is Sunday. It is the last party of the weekend. This is 10 Drink Minimum, sponsored by the Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Yum, yum, yum. Smiley's in here. Oh, where are you, Smiley?
Am I? I can't hear anything.
I asked you before we started. I said, can you hear? And you said, yes, I can.
Well, I could.
All right. I don't know what to do now. I don't know. Here's your thing.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
It was a cable problem. I got figured out.
All right, hold on. But we can't see you. You're looking at this floor.
This is also weird too. I'm over here.
Yeah, hold on. I'll move it. There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah. Now it's gonna follow you. Let me fix his. We have with us comedian and MMA fighter Juan Adams. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
You might be the tallest person. Well, I don't know. How tall are you? 6'5"?
Yeah, between 6'5" and 6'6".
I mean, who's counting at that? Okay, at that point, I mean, you know, like people are like, "You're not 6'2".
I could go to the DMV and be like, "I'm 6'8", and they wouldn't know the difference.
Be like, "Yeah,
you're probably right."
What is with that shit, right? Like nowadays, like last time I went to the doctor, they just asked me. They're like, "How tall are you?" I'm like 6'2", and they're like,
"Word,
okay." I was like, "Do you guys not even do that?" Like. Does everybody just phone it in now? Everybody just doesn't give a shit no more. They're just like, whatever, man.
I'm pretty sure it was always like that. Yeah. Because like my license used to say I was 6'1", and I've never been 6'1".
Okay.
That was I really, really wanted to be 6'1".
Well, okay, but I mean, at the DMV, we all know that they phone that shit in. They're just like, oh,
people get so mad at the DMV. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think you understand. The people that work there hate it more than you do. Like they want to be there less than you. So
they're all eye color. You're all purple. They're all right.
Word.
And when you leave the building, can you take me with you?
Yeah.
Male or female?
I remember.
Look, you got to pick one.
I remember I went to get my real ID because they were making such a fuss. Like they're like, you got to get the real ID. They're not gonna let you fly in a plane. So I go online.
That sounds so fake. I had to get my real ID.
Not the fake one, not the bullshit one. But like I go online and I look it up, and it's like you need your birth certificate, social security card, and then like 2 pieces of like mail, preferably like a bill or something.
Yeah, like a utility bill or something.
Yeah. So I get all that. Like I go, like I didn't have a birth certificate, and I asked my mom. She's like, I don't know where it is. So then I'm like, well, great. So then I'm thinking like it's going to be difficult to get the birth certificate, dude. I take my social security card in, and then I look how much it costs online, and I take cash just to make sure, because a lot of times places like that are like, nope, no card. And I from the moment I walk
in the government, he's talking about the government, by the way.
From the moment I walk in the door to the moment I walk out was 15 minutes to get a copy of my birth certificate. And people wonder how like shit gets, like how people's identity gets stolen. It's like, well, it's not hard to get all that.
Yeah. My identity got stolen in college one time. Actually.
Shit.
Yeah. And it was really funny because somehow or another, like I got the dude's address, like on some piece of information that you get when you file taxes, the dude's address was on there. So me, 21. Captain of my college wrestling team.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna go find the dude.
Fuck.
So I went to his place and knocked on the door. It was like, who is it? And I was like, Amazon. He opens the door. I beat the shit out of this dude.
Oh no shit! Really,
That is fantastic.
I didn't even want the money. I just wanted to beat his ass,
dude. And that is like for every one of us that's had like people like fake and steal our like. I've had my money stolen.
Yeah.
So you just started fucking him up. He had no. Did he ever know why? Did he know why?
No, I was like, yeah. By the way, I'm Juan Adams. You stole my fucking identity.
Oh, that part you shouldn't have done. You should just beat him up and be like, "Don't steal people's identity, motherfucker!" And walked off, man. Fuck, dude, that's awesome. Fuck yeah.
So he didn't file a police report.
Well, why? What's he gonna do? You know, like fuck, like you're gonna go. Oh, we're gonna file a police report. Okay.
The guy I was stealing from came over and fucked me up.
Right.
No
kidding.
Maybe you shouldn't have done that then.
Right. So you're from Houston.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Third Ward, Houston, Texas.
I love that town, man.
Oh, we're gonna be heading out there, right?
In June, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was supposed to fight there in May, and they got pushed to July. And finally, the opponent was just like, "Look, dude, I just don't want to fight him," so he backed out.
He just said he doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah.
He looked at you and he went, "No, I'm all right."
Well, this is a dude that he was a pro back when I was still an amateur, and like I was only an amateur for like a year, maybe. But I was like, yeah, I'll fight him. And like at every turn, we've had 2 other chances to fight. One was for LFA, and they were like, okay, yeah, you can fight Juan Torres, but if you fight this guy, we'll put you on TV. And I was like, well, yeah, I would rather fight on TV. I'm building a brand here. And then the next time it was supposed to be for Fury, and somehow or another he just backed out. I never really thought much of it. And then this time it was for one of our boys. He's semi-retired, but he was going to fight on this card because he's launching his own promotion.
Okay.
And we're both Houston guys. So he goes, yeah, Juan Torres. He says he's down. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. I don't care what his record is. I'll fight it. I'll fight anybody at this point. And first he wanted like a modified rule set. I'm like, look, dude, no. Like, I'm not going to do I need an MMA fight because that's what I'm inactive in right now. So he's like, well, I'll only do MMA if it's bare knuckle. I'm like, fine. Bare knuckle.
Really?
MMA.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I don't care. And then he just didn't want to do it.
So never mind.
He just didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts. I mean, so you were going to play, you were a football player and you got hurt, right? You hurt your hand?
Yeah, my senior year, hurt my hand, lost. Everyone that was interested was just like, oh, yeah, well, you can be a preferred walk-on. And I'm like, well, I have a lot much more fun wrestling. So I'm going to, if it's the same opportunity, I could have been a preferred walk-on for football or a preferred walk-on for wrestling.
Yeah.
So I told myself, if any Division I school offers me that same deal to wrestle, I'm going to take my chances with wrestling.
So what shocks me a little bit is that like you break your hand, which is not like an appendage that like for football really would hinder you that much. I guess it does, but like, not like a knee or an ankle or,
Well, I was playing offensive line at the time.
Yeah.
So, and I broke 2 metacarpals. And yeah, it was pretty bad. And also like,
oh yeah, no, that would mess you up, dude.
Yeah. Personally, me and the coach were cool, but like in a coach athlete relationship, like we just didn't get along.
Yep. All right.
So it was one of those things. And the guy that he ended up like wanting to push did go on and play in the NFL for a couple years, so I don't feel as bad about it. But like,
and then you tried to play in the NFL a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even want to, honestly. Like it was so weird. Like from the time I was 4 years old, like I'm like I want to be a pro athlete, and I really wanted to play football. But literally every sport I played, I was like, I can see myself doing this, But I've always loved to fight. Like it took a lot to make me fight, but I always loved fighting.
Yeah.
And right when I was in high school, when MMA started picking up, so I'm like, well, if I just keep wrestling, maybe I can do MMA. But after my 5th year in college, I literally dropped a class just to do a 5th year, only to wrestle. So like But I went to a military college, so you had to take 12 full credit. Like you had to have a full credit load each semester.
Full load.
So I was taking classes like wellness concepts into old age. A Chinese martial arts cinema was one of my classes.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
Hell yeah.
And then I was taking a bunch of PE classes that I didn't need.
No, that's amazing, dude.
So
if that was an elective, I would have taken that anytime.
Well, the problem was like I declared a minor just so I could like have more classes to take. And then I'd already fulfilled all that by my 5th year.
Yeah.
So I had to pass one class in the spring semester all year to graduate.
How did you do in collegiate wrestling?
I got ranked top 20 a couple times. I beat a few All-Americans.
Okay.
But the mental side of it was always really hard for me. Like I was always ranked really high.
Yeah.
And then I would just choke at conference or
no shit.
In like finals matches, I would bomb. I would always place top 5, like almost every tournament I was in. But stuff happens.
It's a tough thing. Like the mental thing is so much a part of, people don't really get it.
Well, the other thing too was like I went to a military college, but they didn't really value sports that much.
No.
So like at that college, it's not like most colleges,
Yeah. This is VMI, right?
Yeah, VMI. Even at other service academies, like you're done with military stuff around 5 p.m. usually.
Okay.
Like you can be in civilian clothes, you can do whatever. At my college, you couldn't do that. You always had to be in uniform, in an authorized uniform at all times. And then on top of that, every morning, 7 a.m. formation. Then you have your dinner formation. Top of that, there's 3 things. There's like the military service time, which is your ROTC time.
Yeah.
Then you have the school stuff, which is like sometimes it's military, most of the time it's academic. And then there's like the purely academic time. And on top of that, if you're an athlete, if you're NCAA, you have your NCAA time. So it was a really tough balancing act, and it's hard to be properly nourished there as an athlete on top of that.
Which is crazy for wrestling because that's like your nourishment is probably more than any other sport.
Yeah.
Part of it.
I mean, when I first went there, man, I had partied all of my all that summer before I went there, I was partying, man.
Yeah.
And I pulled up to school at like 3:20, 3:25.
Shit.
And the limit was 285. My coach put me on such a strict diet. So I'll never forget my diet my first 3 months of school. For breakfast, I got 2 egg whites.
Yeah.
Half of a grapefruit, 1 glass of Gatorade, 1 glass of water.
Yeah.
And like cottage cheese.
Jesus.
Like that was my breakfast. But
my mom doesn't even drink, or like my mom doesn't even eat like that. That's crazy.
And then for lunch,
2
I could
whites.
do 2 wraps, and on the wrap it was lettuce, 2 pieces of turkey, a little bit of cheese, and I could do 0 fat dressing. So it could be Italian or this honey mustard that like we would have to mix ourselves there. And that was lunch, and dinner was the same as lunch until I was on weight. And that was 100% my fault. I'll give up. But I passed out during one of the parades. And
because you were like malnourished.
Well, and like during that time, it was called the Rat Line. So they were waking us up. It's different now, but it's like when I was there, every week we would have what's called a forced march.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to march the entire rat mass. So it's like 400 something cadets. And you wake up at 5 a.m., throw on a rucksack, throw on your ACUs, and you start walking. And you're marching with your rifle. And at any point they would scream, like, reach out and touch somebody. And if you couldn't touch the person in front of you, you had to run until you could. And that's not that bad when it's like 5 or 10 people. But with like 400, it gets rough, right? So that's what we were doing. But my diet didn't change. So I still had to make weight. So I passed out in one of the parades after it was the same day we did like a 7-mile march or something like that. And it was pretty funny because like as an athlete, you get out of some of that stuff.
Right.
But there's some parades where they're like, no, everybody's marching in this. Like, so we just got stuck with it. But yeah, I went there and they didn't tell me about any of this stuff when I'm getting recruited there. I just went up there, and at the time I'm like, man, this is in Virginia. I'm half a country away. Like, my mom's not gonna be up my ass all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna have to deal with anything from back home. Food's always paid for. I can eat whatever I want whenever I want. Like,
couldn't.
Dude.
No.
My trip, they had like ice cream laid out and donuts. That's just told me it was the ice cream and the donuts. But everyone, it was after the rat line, so I didn't know about the rat line. I didn't know anything about the history of the school.
Mm-hmm.
And I get there, and my coaches, they told me like, yeah, we'll get you out of all the really bad stuff. Like, you don't have to worry about that. So I get there my first day, and I'm like, I don't know why everyone's freaking out, man. This is gonna be chill, whatever. And I'm chilling. We walk in the barracks, and I'm looking around, and everyone's like going crazy in barracks. Like, all the upperclassmen are there. I'm looking around, I'm smiling, like I'm laughing. Because in my head, I'm like, I can beat everybody here up, man. It's gonna be cake.
What's somebody gonna do?
And one of the commandant staff just points at me and goes, "Stop fucking smiling." And I was like, dude, I met that guy on my recruiting trip. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so then the rest of the time, I'm just sitting there kind of shell-shocked. And like, who do you think you are? I'm like, dude, you know who I am. Like, it was a big deal when I said I was coming here. Like, what are we talking about here? But anyway, we get through all of that stuff. It's just a lot of stuff I didn't know about. And the worst part was like, they're like, oh yeah, every morning you got to salute this statue. And I'm like, I'm not.
Oh yeah, there's like all kinds of tradition.
Yeah, and like it was a Stonewall Jackson statue.
Fuck that, right?
And I was like,
what?
I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. But you have to call yourself this rat. So I was like, this rat's not doing that. And they're like, why? You think you're special? And I just go, this rat does not want to salute someone that fought to enslave this rat's people, sir. And they were like, they kind of let me have a pass with that one.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but there was other stuff too. There's like certain cadences there. There's one that's called like walk that tightrope, crack that whip.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, I'm not
doing that one.
I'm not saying that one.
What the fuck, man?
And then like certain things, the Newmarket cadets, obviously they it's rooted in tradition, but it can be problematic to like students of color. Because the Newmarket Cadets is the only college in the country that has students die in the Civil War, right?
Right.
So that's what the Battle of Newmarket, there's 10 cadets that died, but like those cadets were fighting for the Confederacy.
Right.
So I'm like,
I don't give a fuck about those people either, man.
I don't care.
But I escaped the South.
Yeah, so it was an interesting experience, but it taught me so many great values. They carried me through life, and that's how I had to look at it every day, like just get through it, So, and I was there to wrestle, and like as I learned more about the school, I grew to appreciate and respect a lot of the history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you have to separate like a healthy respect, or you can still respect something without agreeing with it.
Didn't they have like a big? I'm trying to remember the big like, not scandal, but like. Was it like a woman wanted to be one of the cadets, and was that Virginia military?
Yeah, it was 1997.
Yeah,
I believe, and
fuck,
it was.
I'm old, so yeah.
We were one of the last schools in the country, public schools in the country, to allow women to be there.
What the fuck, right?
Yeah, I think they allowed black people in, I believe, 72, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm a little rusty on my history.
Well, I get it.
That's some G.I. Jane stuff, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
I mean, even when I went there, the school was, I think, 10%.
The dog's barking. Brody, quit.
Brody.
The school was 10% women, I think, when I went there.
Oh, really?
So,
and you went on a recruiting trip to this place?
Yeah, man.
They didn't tell you that part of it?
They did, but like my whole thing was like this is what they sold me on. They're like, dude, there's 5 other colleges within an hour's drive of here that all have over 50% women. So I was like, word. I was like, we'll be all right.
They're all, yeah, you just go somewhere else.
I should have.
No, I mean that's what they're telling. They're like, yeah, don't worry about women. They're close by. Just go to a different school and check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like in that part of the country though. They're not wrong. I mean, you throw a rock and you hit another college, pretty much. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like there was Washington and Lee, which was not even a quarter of a mile away from the school. Like
Right.
our campus ended and their campus began.
Oh, like it's right over there.
Yeah. And that place was cool. I did most of my partying at JMU. Well, I was they were like 60% women, over 50,000 students there. It was
that's
yeah,
that's
it was
fantastic.
great. It was amazing.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. So then you graduated, and then you were like, I'm gonna fight.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you tried out. Who did you try out for, like football wise? Like someone.
So it was funny. The Colts called my coach and told me they wanted me on some like special program.
Yeah.
So
But you weren't playing football.
No, I wasn't. I tried out for the team my freshman year, and I was like, man, I don't like this. And I was gonna be third string anyway, and playing a position I didn't want to play. So I was like, man, y'all got me.
Quarterback?
No, they wanted me to play offensive tackle, and I'm a defensive lineman. Like when I play, I'll do defensive.
I don't protect people. I fucking hurt people.
Yeah, and like I'll do played a little bit of tight end. And but I like defense.
Jesus Christ, you played tight end,
dude. I ran a 4.7.
I know, but I'm like, this is like if you played in the NFL. Like I don't know how people would tackle you. Like that's, I mean, they would, but
those dudes can hit. They can play, dude.
6'5", like right around like 300. You say 325?
Right now, yeah, I'm 325.
But I mean, if you played in the NFL, you'd probably be like 285.
I'd be down to like 275.
But Jesus, dude, that's who was the guy that played basketball and he became a tight end in the
Antonio
NFL?
Gates. Yeah,
that motherfucker. Like he kind of changed it. Like he changed the
game. He really did.
But I feel like if you played tight end, you would have, could you catch football pretty good?
Yeah. I'm pretty athletic, man. And then we, so they called and they're like, all right, we're going to set you up. I called one of my other buddies that set me up with an agent. My agent set me up with this NFL train, but it was a facility where pro athletes would go to train and rehab. So where I was training at, we had a lot of guys that either were like, it was one of those spots you would go to train to get ready for the draft.
Yeah.
Or like if you were rehabilitating an injury, trying to get back onto a roster, that's where you would go. So I met a lot of really cool dudes down there, or a lot of ex-NFL guys there. So it was super dope. But I'm just like, I love working out. I just don't like football, man. And so what happens is the Packers come down to evaluate like a group of us. And we're there, and I'm on the line, like he's taking all my info, and we're about to run the 40. And as I go to take off, I tripped and fell, and I was like, that's where the dream died for me. Like, it was done for me. But I kept training there because it was really good working. It was really good working out there. And had my first amateur fight and just kept going from there.
You're like, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fought. Okay, so were you like, I'm gonna do MMA? Am I gonna do boxing? Am I gonna do bare knuckle? I mean, bare knuckle wasn't a thing back then.
No, it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure that was called illegal.
Yeah, it was definitely illegal.
And so you went, and then you like started amateur fighting. How long before you got to the UFC?
So my amateur debut was when it was September 10th, 2016.
Okay.
My pro debut was July of 2017.
Shit.
My UFC debut was December of 2018.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was fun.
It's pretty. Is that like a normal progression?
Yeah.
No, that was way fast. So
because I mean that seemed like really fast. Like the timelines. My fifth pro fight was in the UFC.
Wow.
And
which I mean, but to be fair, like in the UFC, there's not a lot of like big heavyweight stuff. I mean, usually
there weren't at the time, no. And and I was dealing with a lot of other stuff at that time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had some grief from my mom passing that
Oh,
I
that
hadn't
sucks, man. I'm
really,
sorry.
really dealt with yet. And, you know, the girl I was dating at the time was not conducive to, to my career path at the time. But I just look at it as like I allowed those things to affect me.
Sure.
You know? So I don't blame anyone or anything.
Well, I mean, your mom. I mean, that's
yeah.
you know, that's going to affect you. I mean, that's just how it
Yeah.
is. I mean, it's by the way, you know, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Oh, yeah, Happy
Yes.
Mother's Day,
Yeah. But I mean,
It
you know,
is
but I mean, the
Mother's
woman
Day.
part, sure. I mean,
yeah, the rest of it, yeah, it was affected me. And,
yeah.
and then like, you know, as I progressed, but like at every point in my career, even with the PFL, you know, I was in the $1 million tournament, but I was allowing the girl I was dating at the time to like mess with my head during that time. And again, a lot of it has to do with like how I approached relationships, and a lot of it has to do with like their behavior. But at the same time, like I allowed it, like I chose that.
Oh yeah.
So I don't blame anyone on that. So since then, you know, it's been kind of hard to get MMA fights. So that's when the bare knuckle boxing started. And for the longest, I told myself like I'm not gonna do bare knuckle boxing. Like I look too good to do that. Like my
Yeah.
face, like I'm too pretty for this.
Fuck,
I'm
man.
not taking one of these. That's not.
But I just love violence, man. I love it. Like I feel so at peace.
I like
when
fucking
I
people up,
fight.
and I don't mind getting fucked up.
Yeah, dude. Like
That's the scariest kind of human being ever to me. To me,
yeah, because like I'll get
He
punched
doesn't-
in the
He
face.
doesn't get it. Doesn't get it at all.
Yeah, I'll get hit in the face, and like I'm like, oh yeah, that was it. Cool. Like let's go more. You know?
oh, that's all you got. Huh? We did a panel in El Paso a couple weeks ago, and Vincent D'Onofrio was there. You know, from like Full Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
the Kingpin, and Daredevil. And so on the way back, we're listening to his Marin, and he's like 6'3", 6. He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 6'4". I don't know, whatever. And he's like talking about growing up in New York, and then like how he was a bouncer in New York clubs, and they were like, "Oh yeah, how did you like that?" And he goes, "I don't mind getting hit in the face, so I did really good at it." And I'm like,
what?
Jesus, really? You don't? He's like, "Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a scary human being that can get hit in the face, especially bare knuckle."
Yeah.
So when you did your first bare knuckle, like was the first time you did you guys train where you let somebody hit you like when you spar?
No, you do the same type of training. So
Yeah.
the way we do it is like I only spar with small gloves when I'm doing the getting ready for a bare knuckle fight, but I do my bag work with no gloves on.
Yeah.
So like I'm hitting the bag with no gloves on.
Because you want to callus up your knuckles.
Right. You just want to get used to like that fist making contact. And like when you're wearing gloves, it can cover up a lot of improprieties within your technique.
Yeah.
When you're training bare knuckle on the bag, like it forces you, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
your rub is gonna hurt.
Yeah, or you're gonna break the two smaller knuckles here, or you're gonna break your wrist if it's not aligned properly. So all of that, it's cool. It's just a new way to train. I look at it as a new challenge, and
yeah,
I love doing it. But the first time I got hit with no gloves on, I thought I was gonna react a lot worse than what I did, because like before MMA, like I got into street fights all the time.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I've always loved fighting. So when the bare knuckle, like under the lights, when it happened, I was like, oh yeah, that's what that feels like. And like we're just going, and there's one part in my first bare knuckle fight where I like took like 16 straight punches to the face.
No shit.
And I was like, all right, yeah, that's all you got. So I just put my hands on the line. I'm gonna walk forward and just start swinging out.
Oh wow.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty.
Wow.
That's fucking nuts, man. So like, are you gonna go back to like MMA at all, or is it just gonna be straight up bare knuckle?
I want to do MMA. I really do. It just so I'm at a weird point because I fought in the UFC and I'm 10-6, and I'm primarily a grappler. Like that's a really dangerous fight,
right?
For a lot of people, and the only people that would benefit from fighting me are people right on the cusp of getting to the UFC,
right?
But when you're on that cusp, right, it's one loss in order to make up for one loss, you have to win 3 more fights, right?
Yep.
So it's a hard risk, and it's not worth the risk for a lot of people. And I understand that, but my whole thing is like, well, if you want to fight in the UFC, like, and your thoughts are, if I'm better than anyone that's not in the UFC, but you're going to be fighting guys better than me, allegedly. So why not see where you're at right now?
Yeah.
But,
Test the waters.
Yeah, but anything can happen, man. Like, there's been fights that I shouldn't have lost, but I just, bad night, And,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's fighting.
Yeah.
Anybody could win a fight. I mean, you could come off the couch, the week before and sit on a treadmill or bicycle and lose the weight and then come in and get a lucky punch,
Right. Well, my last bare knuckle fight, like, I didn't train at all for that one.
So I was going to ask, because, like, you look like you're in better shape right now than you were, that fight.
Yeah, that fight, I was so fat, man.
I assumed you had to, like, put on weight to fight that guy.
I wanted to put on weight to fight that guy, so I did, but I sparred one time getting ready for
no
that
kidding.
fight.
And then you won.
Yeah, I fucked him up pretty bad.
Well, he caught you, though, like, at one point in the fight. I saw
Yeah.
I watched it, yeah.
He caught me. Well, like, it was weird because, like, there was a low blow, and I was like looking at the ref like, yo. And then he hit me in the neck, and I was like, what? Yo. And then that's when he caught me with the hook.
Yeah.
And I was already on the rope, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just sit down. Like,
Yeah.
I just sat down. And like I'm like taking a break, thinking like, man, if I stop fighting, I still get paid the same. Like,
right.
We're good. But then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, Bourbon and Boots already said, like, if I lost this fight, I can't drink there anymore.
Is that what they told? They were fucking me.
Yeah, they were messing with me. And then I looked over at his face, and his face was so messed up.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, you fucked him up pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I still got this. And then the ref was like, 4. I'm like, oh damn, yeah, I gotta get up. And then I was like, it's Black History Month, dude. I can't lose to a British dude. So I got up and I just went out there and ended it. And then, like, it was weird because after that, like, every break in the action, I would look at the clock and I'm like, all right, I got 53 seconds to fuck him up. All right, like, I got 25 seconds left to fuck him up. Like,
are you that hyper aware that you're like thinking that in your mind?
Yeah.
Wow.
Every break or every time they stop the action, I look at the clock and I'm like, all right, this is what I got to do. I hear what my coaches are saying too.
Yeah.
But before that fight, my coaches were like,
I just wonder that
you haven't really trained much. Like, this has got to be our game plan. Like, you got to do this, this, and this. And I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk forward. We're gonna be in the middle.
I'm gonna.
One of us is going to sleep.
I'm gonna walk through him.
So that's just what we did.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome, man. That's like old school, like 60s, 70s boxing mentality. Like he's gonna drop pain bombs on him. He's just gonna walk through him. I love that. So, was there a reason why you didn't really train too much for that fight, or is it just?
Man, I was working, man. I was a teacher at the time, and it was a really good sign. It's probably the sign that I needed when I should have stopped teaching.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish out the year, and I still didn't do that. Like, I'm done teaching.
Got it. Yeah.
I got this contract to finish.
Yeah, I was just so, because I do really love people. Like, I want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to do. Like, I want to help people, and then I like fighting. But like those are the two. But with teaching, the values are so messed up these days.
Yeah,
man. Like, the kids have no respect.
How in the fuck could a kid not, like, say mouth off to you? Like, Jesus.
Because they have no fear, and they think they most people these days don't face actual consequences.
Nope.
And as a culture, we've moved away from accountability as a whole. Like, just, it's ridiculous. So
my family didn't.
Yeah.
We went with homeschooling.
Yeah.
Guess what? I can. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be in trouble.
Yeah. So these kids, they just, it's just different. And like, I don't think they're bad people. I just think they don't know better.
No.
The parents don't know much better. And most other teachers are people that were just like weirdos in school. And so now they go back to it's really weird to me. It's just, a strange dynamic.
I have a lot of friends that are teachers, and yes, that is good. You just like pinpointed
well, it's like they most teachers go back to the point in school where they face the most trauma, and that's where they want to teach. And I'm just like,
fuck that.
You're a weirdo. Like chill. So it was a bad vibe, and I would leave work depressed every day. Like I just didn't want to work out. All I wanted to do after work was have a beer and go to sleep. Like that was it.
That sounds like so. Everyone I know that was a teacher or became a teacher was like, especially like when I was in college, they were the people that like fucking like smoked the most weed, partied the hardest, the craziest drug, and then they're like they went and became a teacher. Like
yeah.
And then you meet people who are teachers, and they're like happy hour, huh? Like man,
yeah, dude. My first thing, like as soon as I would walk into the school every day, I was like, man, fuck them kids. As soon as I would leave the school, fuck them kids. As I'm drinking every shot, like I'm like, man, I should go write a lesson plan. Then it's like, nah, fuck them kids. And that's like that was the balance I needed, and that's not a healthy balance.
No, hell no,
at all. And now, like leaving teaching, started a new business, working in assisted living facilities, and I work the overnight shift. So like once they go to sleep, like I gotta do checks every couple hours. Like I'll take it like quick 30-40 minute nap. I get more sleep doing that than I did as a teacher. It's insane. But in the morning I can go to all my training sessions, and now I have the energy to go and train because I'm not depleted mentally and physically from dealing with other people's badass kids all day. So it's a lot better.
Makes sense. The question I have about that is like the company, like why were you fighting in a ring that was like a triangle? Is that like their signature? Is that like their
that's their thing?
That was weird as shit.
But it's also like it's a smaller service. There's nowhere to run in.
Nowhere to run.
There is nowhere to run.
There's like your corner, their corner, and then the neutral corner. That was like it, right? Yeah, that's weird, man.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay. Oh yeah, I don't have to walk as far to hit you. This is great.
You're trapped in here with me.
Well, yeah, and you can't I don't feel like you fight a lot of little guys, but like they can't run, like they can't, evade the whole fight. Because sometimes you watch recently, the big fight was the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, and there was a couple of those undercards where the one fighter like ran the whole time, and it's like, and people are like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm like, yeah, have you never watched boxing before? Like, this is boxing.
The whole goal of it is to hit and not get hit.
Yeah, it's to number one goal is to survive. Brody.
But my goal is like I just want to inflict as much damage as possible.
Yeah. And Brody, what trips me out about that whole thing too is like how I grew up watching boxing. I watched it with my grandfather. I watched it with my dad. And like so many people are like, I cannot believe how big a farce that Jake Paul fight thing was. And I was like, oh, really? Is this your first time watching boxing before? Like,
oh, so you're new.
I know. And I'm like, and they're like, how ridiculous was that? I was like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, well, it's, Jake Paul and those guys are making a mockery of boxing. And I was like,
the Rumble.
Do you feel that way for real? And I was like, how so? And they were like, well, I mean, what do you think? And I said, okay, before that fight, when was the last time you talked about boxing with anyone? And they were like, God, I don't know. I was like, so they're making a mockery of this thing that you haven't talked about in like 10 years. Like, and then I said, do you know who the heavyweight champion is right now? They're like, no. It's like, do you know any boxers? They're like, no. I was like, so, I mean, if anything, they actually brought it back into
the limelight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, as someone that I would deem myself a real fighter, at first it did piss me off that they're making so much money when you have guys that dedicate their lives.
You're damn right.
This. They're doing everything. But at the same time, you have to look at it as they're also providing another avenue of opportunity for those guys. And that's kind of where I'm at with it now. But I don't know, man. I like bare knuckle boxing. I don't think I could do glove boxing.
Well, Sarah Kennedy says Juan would absolutely rule DCCW if he wanted to do it. We'll get into that here in a little while.
All right.
We'll get into that maybe in the second hour. But see, that's where okay. So when you're talking about bare knuckle boxing, but like with the Jake Paul thing, they're doing two things. They're boxing and they're performing. And the performance brings the money to the boxing. Right? Like if you were like if you like cuz you do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
If you took the two and you were like before the fight, you were doing all these like fucking like videos about the guy you were going to fight and started talking all this trash and then got in the ring and everybody hated your guts and then you won. I guarantee the money would come. Like in the next fight, everybody would be like, God damn it, fuck that guy. You know, it's the thing. It's it's for the performance of it. But bare knuckle is so new. So how? Because like everybody calls it MMA, but it's more boxing than MMA, I would say, because you don't go to the ground.
Yeah, it's called bare knuckle boxing.
Right.
Like the only thing that's different is they allow longer clinches. Right?
Okay, I didn't know that.
So you can clinch, and as long as you're throwing punches in the clinch, they're not going to break you up.
Right.
And
it's so more terrifying.
Yeah, and there's like just dirty boxing in it, but it's still boxing.
The clinching is longer. They're like, all right, all the things that you had on the paddings for your hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. We're gonna get rid of that, and then also you guys can clinch longer. This is like terrifying.
What's the dirtiest move someone's done to you while fighting professionally?
Oh man,
I mean headbutts probably.
Yeah, there was headbutts.
I'm sure there's like a headbutt almost.
It's usually like low blows or like
that's dirty shit right there.
Or like when they're throwing knees when you're on the ground. It's just like
that's UFC MMA.
But dirty box and boxing.
Yeah.
It's not. No one's ever really done anything like super dirty to me. Like the throat punch, that shit pissed me off.
Who's the biggest shit talker that you fought? Like when you're in the across from them, they're just talking the whole time.
Nobody. No one's ever really. I'm usually the bigger shit talker. In it.
What do you say? What do you say? Like what do you say?
So I don't say anything like during the fight so much.
No?
It's like in the lead up to it, in the interviews and stuff. Mm-hmm. I make a lot of like slights towards my opponent. Sometimes I won't even acknowledge them as a person. Like I just do little stuff to mess with them.
Yeah.
In my amateur days, like before I made it to the UFC, I would do these long like write-ups of like a story about my opponent and stuff like that. Just having a creative outlet. But
that's fantastic.
there was one dude that he talked a lot of crap before the fight, like in Contender Series. Yeah. So like after I got him on the ground, I was talking so much to him. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I thought you could wrestle. And I'm like hitting him. I'm like, no, you said you wanted it on the ground, right? You're the better ground fighter. Let's go. You asked for this. And then like I put a choke in and I was like, call me daddy. And
oh shit.
And then I let the choke go and just started punching him in the face.
Oh man. Have you ever been knocked out?
No, I mean, there's been fights where they've called them. I've been knocked down. I've had my bell
like
rung.
a TKO.
I've had a lot of TKOs. Like all my losses were TKOs. I had one decision loss. Everything else was a TKO.
Well, they just felt like that you were not defending.
But like that's a problem I have with fighting. Like me, if it doesn't hurt, I'm not gonna defend against it. I'm just like whatever.
Y'all just hitting his hand in your forehead.
This is a break. Cool, we're good.
That's awesome. Man, that's some shit right there. Like you're like, if it's not hurting, I'm not gonna defend against it. I'll just take it. So but you've knocked people out.
Yeah.
I've watched. I grew up in eastern New Mexico, and they would do the Golden Gloves state championships there. And like 2 or 3 different times, I saw someone get knocked clean out.
Yeah, and
it's something to see live. It's not watching on TV. You're like, whoa, but when you see it live, it's a different deal. You know, it's kind of it's a little bit terrifying, but a little bit like, some guy he got knocked out.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. I actually had a guy die.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
They brought him back to life, but like he was one of my buddies too.
Oh my god!
Oh, he only died for a second.
Well, we told him throughout dude, you shouldn't be cutting water this far out.
Oh,
your water cuts the week of. Everyone knows this. And then he got a liver kick and his body shut down.
Oof.
He was dead. They brought him back twice, actually, in that night.
Then he wrote a book about what the afterlife is like. No, I'm just kidding.
I kind of wish he would. But
Yeah. Does he talk about it at all?
No. I mean, I love the guy to death, but he's a strange dude.
Yeah.
Already, so it's.
They brought him back twice.
Yeah.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah. We don't encourage these things.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's some wild shit right there. So what's it like fighting for the UFC? What are they like? Not the MMA, not the mixed, not the bare knuckle, but the UFC.
Oh man, it's so cool, man. They have the coolest people working for them.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like a rock star the whole time. Like, no matter where you are on the card, they treat you like you're the guy, right? And it's pretty cool doing that. And it's also cool, man. Like,
I'm gonna beat him to the punch, but like, what's the green room situation like?
Yeah.
We don't really have a room. We're in the locker room.
Yeah.
We're in the locker room, but afterwards, afterwards they have like all this food catered in there.
Yeah.
There's no liquor, sadly, I know, but like,
because they can't.
But dude, like, and they knew me. They knew I love sweets, man. So we would always have like a Sunday bar.
Well, because like after the fight, you're like, I get to eat what I want now.
Yeah.
So you gotta weigh in.
Yeah, those cuts are rough, man.
That's a Sunday bar.
Yeah, they had
awesome.
They would have ice cream, and then I would go load up and all the cookies and brownies, and then they would have like all the junk food. They had good food there too, but then they would have like the trash food because they know that's what we wanted to eat.
Fuck yeah,
and it was awesome, man. I loved it.
Shit. So like, is that why you're in Albuquerque, because of the bare knuckle, or you like came here to train?
I came here when it was for my last UFC fight. And I lost that fight and didn't get re-signed, but I knew if I wanted to keep fighting, this is where I needed to be.
Right.
So I stayed here and I've just been training. And for my first 3 or 4 years out here, I was just training. Been the last year and a half, 2 years that I've really gone out. But for most of the time, it was like wake up, train, go to work, get off work, train.
Did you train with any like the like Winklejohn or anything?
Yeah. I live at Jackson Wink.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh wow, what's that like?
It's like a college experience, honestly, which is weird for me. Like, I'm 33 now, so like me, I get in there, I go sit in my room. I don't want to talk to you. I do my workouts and that's it.
Yeah,
but
there's like I don't know if he's Russian or something. I met one of the guys. He was on a plane with me that trains there. Maybe like Czechoslovakian, something. I don't know. I follow him on Instagram, but
and it's weird. It's a world-renowned gym, so we have guys from all over the world there.
Yeah,
and it's funny, man. I love it, man. We have I love the Mongolian guys, man. They're my favorites because we'll be in there chilling. They're just like mountain men, and they love rap music and stuff.
Weird.
So it was so funny one time. One of my buddies, they were having like it was a holiday, and they had made all this food. They were inviting people to come eat it, and one of my buddies was like, "Nah, man, like I'm a pescatarian. I don't really do all that. Like I don't really mess with beef." He just goes, "Eat nigga."
Wow.
I was dying. And I had to tell him, I was like, bro, like, I don't care if you say that, but like, you can't just say that to anybody.
Right, right.
And he's like, he apologized. He was so cool about it. But he like just didn't know. He was just he was listening to rap music all the time, and he just.
I'm gonna age myself, but when I was in Germany, I was 18. I'm 50 now, but when I was 18, I was staying with this family, and you're 18, you're like fresh out of like high school, and all the rules and all that shit. And I'm staying with this German family, and like the uncle and his family came to visit, and they just got back from the United States, and they were like, "Oh, you're from America? Man, we love America. We just saw a white man can't jump. Go fuck yourself, motherfucker." And I was like, and I was sitting there like, okay. And I'm looking around and I'm like, and they're all fuck you. And I thought it was the best shit ever, man. I was like, wow. They just don't, and like this is like the dad, and then like his little like kid who's like 12 runs up, he's all fuck you. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't think you guys understand the gravity of that word. But did you tell the Mongolian guys that you're from Houston, where great rap music comes from?
Yeah, I did. And they mentioned some of the artists from out there. I was like, yeah, man.
God, who's from the fuck? So I grew up watching, listen to rap.
Yeah,
like,
we got Mike
Jones,
Paul Wall,
Wall.
UGK, man,
Yes.
The Underground Kings.
Have you watched that the History of Hip Hop on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
It's dope as shit. It's like 4 seasons. In the first season, they kind of they didn't. I think they were like, this is all we're gonna get, so they kind of did it, like all of like rap. And then as they went into the individual seasons, they do the individual like areas of the country. And at one point, they do Houston. And I was like, fuck yeah, they did Atlanta, they did Houston, they did, of course they did New York and specifically Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But the Bronx, sorry, the Bronx. But like, they do like they did like San Francisco, the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the Bay Area is like MC Hammer, but then it's like Too Short and then like Digital Underground, so yeah. But I forgot about Houston. Yeah, we're going to Houston in June. Love it. Love that town.
It's my favorite city in America.
It's fucking awesome, right?
I love
it.
There.
I'm gonna take Smiley and we're gonna show him around because like that downtown area is badass.
He's gonna show me around like I've never been there before.
Yeah. Downtown's pretty awesome. I usually hang out in the Galleria area because that's where all the strip clubs are.
Okay.
So that's where I like to hang out.
Yeah.
But
so we're gonna take a break. We'll come back and we'll get into like maybe some of the comedy a little bit, and we'll just bullshit around. But yeah, we're gonna take a break. You guys, we'll be back here about 10 minutes. Smiley will not knock the skateboards off the wall. Maybe I don't know.
Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, now I moved the chair.
All right.
It's not going to hit them anymore.
Yeah. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. We are
10 drink minimum.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regret. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh man, we're back. It is the Billy/Wavy Hour. We didn't even promote anything in the last hour. I'm Chris Burnett. This show is sponsored by the Topo Chico Hard Seltzer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did promote something.
Yeah, our guest Juan Adams is drinking it. He's a MMA fighter / comedian. You're the dude that if someone, I would love to be at a show where some fuckhead like heckles you.
Dude, there was one time where this like group of ladies walked in the back and they were heckling everyone.
Oh gosh.
And like it got to me, and my set was already about like it was about how you can be dishonest without technically lying.
Right.
And how women are way better at that than men.
Oh shit.
But like typically when you lie or cheat, you're doing it to get a benefit, right? So what's the benefit is of the outcome if you are caught? And it's just not being with that person. She said something. I'm like, this is exhibit A of why men cheat. Like, just went in, and then she shut up, and then June got up there.
Yeah.
She didn't even do a set. She just looked at them and like, hey guys, can y'all like shut the fuck up, please?
Yes.
Like,
June performed last night at the Cabaret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is June Opal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had June on the show.
Just making sure.
So we last night we talked about DCCW a little bit in the first hour, and there's a belt behind Juan. That's kind of like our Intercontinental title. If you can't see it, it's okay. I have a little one.
Whoa! What?
It's a bracelet.
What the fuck? Wait, hold. This is new.
Cool.
What the hell is this?
I got this last night. Yeah, and I wore it last night to the Cabaret show. So we did that.
Can I see that? Can I see that?
Yeah, we had our 2-year anniversary of Duke City Championship Wrestling last night. We've been 2 years since we started, and I'm like, have you any interest in doing like pro wrestling at all?
It's funny. I really don't. I love the entertainment value. I love the acting
because that's what it is, right?
Yeah, but it's very. I had a WWE tryout. It was after my third MMA fight, and it was like a special tryout. So I didn't know it at the time that it was a special tryout.
Yeah,
but there were some like killers. Austin Theory was at my tryout.
Shit.
Like, yeah,
No
he was
kidding.
one of the guys trying out, and they make you wear this bracelet with a number on it, and that's the order you do stuff in. Well, I was number 2. The number 1 guy didn't show up, so I had to do everything first.
Oh.
And they're sitting there like, dude, show us some personality. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying not to fuck up this drill right now. Like, I really like, and my personality is very like give and take. It's not just like I don't just turn it on. Like,
no.
So it was cool, but the thing was like, if you had gotten accepted, your starting salary was only like $40,000.
Yeah,
you have to move to Orlando.
Yep.
You have to get all your own stuff. And I'm like, nah, that's too much for me. And then they wanted us to go back and like clean up our entire Instagram.
Oh, right.
Facebook,
Really?
Twitter. And I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, I said dumb shit when I was 18. I guess, so what?
No, we didn't.
Right.
Like,
I didn't because we didn't have it. I said dumb shit to people in public.
I say dumb shit right now.
Well, like we've been doing it.
I got all my dumb shit off on MySpace.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gone. It's been and gone, man.
Yeah.
If you can find it, I would love to see it.
So we celebrated 2 years last night. We've signed with the NWA, and it was really interesting because I had to do double duty. I had to do from 7 to 9. I had to do commentary, and then I had to leave early so I could run across town and go to the annex at the Box Theater and do almost AAA Cabaret. So it was really interesting because the NWA like was like, hey, we want to send somebody down and do commentary with you guys, so that to kind of show that you guys are on a national level part of our organization. So they send this like this character called Pollo Del Mar, who's a drag queen, 6'4" drag queen, and Pollo Del Mar, Chicken of the Sea, is a heel. So I'm like sparring with this heel drag queen for like 2 hours, like like doing commentary. Then I have to go across town and then be at this like cabaret show where like I love the drag queens, and I'm like, hey, I love you guys are the best. And I'm like earlier, I'm just like, you know what, you don't know shit about nothing, like very weird dynamic in the world, but that's show business, right? It's like wherever you're needed, and it was really kind of an interesting night. And we debuted. We did a 6-sided ring last night. It's not going to be like for everything, but like we, it was for our 2-year anniversary, and we crowned our first women's champion.
Oh heck yeah!
What's the setup like for that 6-sided ring? Like, is it like a little extra?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm like the setup.
I mean, I'm sure there's a photo of it somewhere.
No. I mean, like, is it harder to set up?
I don't know. Smiley, I'm a performer. I don't lift.
My bad. I don't know. I like the stage aspect.
Speaking of trash talking people and like fucking with them, I like to go like wrestlers have like certain like pro wrestlers like have certain like unwritten rules and little things, but like one of their big unwritten rules in wrestling is like when you go to get in the ring, you wipe your feet off. And I mean, are you really wiping your feet off? No, but it shows that like you have respect for what happens in those ropes. But like I always like to just I always do that when I get in the ring, and I don't get in the ring very often. I try not to, because that's not where I belong.
It's not his forte.
Well, I mean, but it's funny though. I'll walk up to him.
First time I saw him in a ring, I booed him.
He did do this, and I was like, I'm a good guy. You're not supposed to fucking boo me, because there's other people started booing me. But I like to walk up to the veterans, and I'll like where they can't see me, and I'll be all, excuse me, sir, are you one of the ring crew? And they'll fucking turn like, what? And they'll be like, God damn it, it's Chris. I'll be all, do you run the concession stand? I'll just like fucking scream, because they, because it takes the piss out of
superstars.
Yeah.
Superstars. I don't know.
Are you part of the ring crew? Do you know where the brooms are? Just to fuck with them. What is Sarah saying? She said 20-sided ring, D and DC. That joke has went over my head.
20.
Wait, what is it?
20-sided ring. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
D and DCCW. I got it. All right. Fuck, it took me a second.
20-sided die.
So you do comedy too, right? What made you do that? Like,
it was really funny, man. So when I was still an amateur,
Mhm.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I just knew I didn't want to use my degree.
Mhm.
So
what's your degree in?
my bachelor's is in computer science. I got my minor in exercise science.
Okay.
I'm finishing up my teaching degree now, and then I'll get my master's in education, but I'm not teaching anymore.
So you know how to code?
You just want to you just want to finish it up.
Yeah, I just want to finish it up. Honestly, want the master's degree. I'm gonna get a PhD eventually, just out of spite. So when someone tries to,
I love it.
When someone tries to like belittle my intellect in some way,
Right.
I'm like,
You're gonna be like Shaq.
it's Dr. Adams, bitch.
Yeah.
Calm down, all right? So I was a bouncer for a while.
See, I can't imagine. I'm just kidding. Fucking absolutely can imagine.
So
No way.
and it was funny because like when I was a bouncer, I started within 3 months. I was head of security, and then 3 months later, I was the GM of like 3 different nightclubs. So I was managing nightclubs, but I would always tell the owner, I'm like, don't put me at the door. Like, I don't want to be at the door. I don't want to be here. Because I was also a loan coordinator at a bank at the time, and I was coaching.
Oh, wait a
at
second.
3 different spots.
Wait
Yeah.
a
So
second.
you're like, oh, I don't like.
You're a loan coordinator, so like at some point you're like, you owe us money.
Pretty much.
Fuck that.
I was just making phone calls. I never had to
okay.
do house calls.
You never like you never like flipped over someone's car and
No,
they had to
none
come
of
out and
that,
yell,
none of
what
that.
the hell? You'd be like, you owe us money.
None of that. None of that. But so I was dealing with people all day, and then like the nightclub thing was great because I was making crazy money, like stupid money. But I would tell him, like, don't put me at the door. Like, I don't want to talk to people at this point of the day. I'm tired. I'm done. And he would always put me at the door.
Well, yeah, because
he was like,
I used to run a bar. You're exactly the type of surly that we need at the door.
Surly?
Well, no, but they wouldn't have me like doing security at the door.
Oh,
they had me at the door as like a promoter.
No,
like trying to get people to come in. He's like, no, girls like you. You're good looking. Like you come. We worked at. He was a Syrian dude, and I was like,
you like it's fine.
Like no, bro, I don't like it. So I would just make fun of people at the door the whole time.
That's what I would do.
I would just make fun of them.
See, I would have you at the door with your arms crossed and not talking.
I want to know what places is like. We don't have any places that just have someone at the door promoting.
No,
like we don't have that.
Where was
here.
this at? Yeah,
so
this is Midtown Houston. So
okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm like, this has to be somewhere else because there's no way we don't do that out here.
So when we go to Houston, where do we got to go?
Ooh, I would say the Heights, 20th Street and the 20th and Washington in the Heights area. That's the best spot now.
Okay.
When I was running stuff like Midtown was the spot to be at. Right? Okay. We had Clay nightclub.
I went to one. It was
Poor
like
Behavior.
We went to some club and it was like it looked like it had been the theater and like it was a goth night.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but then we went to like the bar that I love is a place called Poison Girl.
That's a good spot.
Yeah. And like I'll tell people to go there and they'll go and they're like, that place is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool dive bars in Houston, honestly.
That's where we do dive bars.
Yeah.
Except for that fucking Roswell one. That one sucks. Because I grew up an hour from Roswell. Yeah. And first of all, I feel sorry for every human being that has to work in that place. And I guarantee after like a year, like seeing the color purple and fluorescent green are hated by you.
No.
It's terrible. But yeah,
I know. I worked at the 66 diner, so I can kind of like get that. No, but see, I have this light here because I have a bit of affection for neons.
Well, and you're the devil, so that's why the red. But you say Uptown, Midtown?
Yeah, I would do Midtown was a spot at that time, but now the Heights area is really where the best bars are.
Okay.
They're
okay. I cannot remember, and I could text my friend and find out. There's a place that you go and eat at like 3 a.m, and it's like the Houston version of like Golden Pride. Like we had a pound of like crawfish at like 3:30 in.
It's probably talking about Lulu's Kitchen. I believe is what it's called.
Yep.
That spot is that was the Midtown spot. So me and I would always hang out with the bouncers afterwards, like the bartenders and promoters, and they would want to hang out with me, and it just wasn't my vibe at the time because I was so locked in, and all the other bouncers like were my fighting buddies. So like we would go to Denny's at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I would just be in there like cracking jokes from the whole night. Like, dude, you should do comedy. You should do comedy, and they've been telling me this for years. Well, we come out here, and I was just at my door one night. My buddy was like, I think I could do comedy. So he goes up and does the open mic, completely bombs. And and I was like, I can't let my squad go out like that. So I went up there and I just started talking about some stuff that I found funny. And it went really well. And so I just kept going to it. And then now, like with the writing circle, Sarah, Steph, Kelly, they all gave me really good tips. And it's really weird because I'm not going to, I'll listen to feedback from anyone, but I'm not going to apply a lot of it unless I find you funny.
Yeah. So if somebody's not funny and they're telling you some shit, you're like,
yeah. Okay. Like I might be able to look at my joke from a different angle, but I'm not going to change the joke.
Yeah.
But in terms of like rewriting jokes and changing it, like Sarah, Kelly, Steph, Tim Mathis has been giving me really good feedback on a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
And then, one of my really good friends from Houston, Barry Laminack, he was at Hyenas a few weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
So I got to go see him.
How is that place?
Honestly, man, it gives you the real like comedy club feeling.
Okay.
When it's a small room, so it's like pretty packed.
Oh, that was actually one of my questions about it. Like how big is it?
It's not huge. I mean, it's big enough. You can get like 80, 90 people in there usually, probably. But they got alcohol. They don't have a lot of food. They have like popcorn. And
okay, so we went to we were in, like I said, we were in El Paso a couple weeks ago, and we went to Patrick Warburton's show, the Seinfeld guy, Joe from and he got us tickets, and we go to this and it's like a place in a strip mall.
It's a strip mall. Like,
what was it called? What was it called? Like comedy? What was it? Comedy?
I was really hoping that you remember.
Anyway, it was whatever comedy. Like Chuckles or whatever. Who knows? Anyway, we get Ubered over there, and as we drive up, I see a fucking line, and I'm like, oh man, like, and I'm used to like dry heat and all that, and I'm like, man, there must be some like club or something here. People are in line. No, they're in line to like go to the comedy club, and the line is like 50 people deep when we walk up, and after like 10 minutes, it's 50 people deep behind us. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we get
big is this
and we got in, and it was pretty big. And then they had it was weird. They didn't have a 2-drink minimum. They had a 2-item.
Oh, it's called it was called the comic strip. And they had like hot dogs. They had, I don't know if they had hamburgers, but like you could get 2 hot dogs and be okay, I guess. I don't know. There was definitely some popcorn.
But their thing was get you in, sell you the 2 items, comedy show, get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, because they're like, and there's another set after this, so get the fuck
get
out.
Your asses out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Hyenas was like that.
No, there's a 2-item minimum there. Yeah. Like for the late show, you can chill a little bit afterwards. Talk to some of the comics will come through and they'll be selling merch, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's a great spot, man. I would love to perform there one day. We got kind of spoiled with dry heat, man. Like,
right?
It was always
we all did
that. Sarah Kennedy spoiling us all.
Yeah. Well,
so
like
nice.
They're so funny, man. She's so funny. And like
she's watching, that's why.
It was cool because and now like that dry heat's not there. The only 2 comedy clubs there are like bigger ones. So I think it's gonna force us all to get a lot better at comedy.
Well, here's what I don't get is like somebody could just rent out that same space and do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Sarah says, "No, I'm not watching." I mean, if and I think like that you get, but I mean, you don't even have to rent it out and like have it as a full-fledged club. Like you could rent it out like and do like every 6 months you could have a show there. Right. I mean, it's still there.
The rest of the time, you just sleep on the stage.
No, they use it. They use it.
Yeah, they use it.
We did the cabaret show last night. By the way, so I want to talk about Rusty Rutherford a little bit. Do you know Rusty?
Yeah, he's funny.
Okay, so when I first met Rusty, he was not. He was not.
He's come a long
This was
way.
like 12 years ago. I remember he was like, it was like where Red Door is. It used to be a place called Blackbird, and they'd have brunch. And I remember watching, like, it's a brunch show. So there's like families there. And Rusty's up there telling like rape jokes. And I was like, this is rough. And so I hadn't seen Rusty in a long time, right? And I've watched Rusty bomb really badly. I've watched Rusty do okay. And then one time I saw Rusty open for a guy at the chemo, and the audience was like mostly like I was one of the youngest people, and he killed with that audience, right? So Rusty did the cabaret show last night, and I'm gonna say this right now: from the time I saw Rusty the first time till now, Rusty is now a killer. He got up there last night and slayed. He did a thing where he did he's like, I've been writing greeting cards, and he's all, here's all my rejected ones, and he was like, he had them out, and and they were really fucking good. And then he did his thing where he has people in the audience take something out of their pocket or from their purse and hold it up, and he will do a whole rap through the audience. And I was like, okay, this is, we'll see. And he fucking killed at it, man.
Oh yeah.
It was phenomenal.
I gotta find a gimmick like that.
He won. He won. He won. He got second. I gave him an A.
Oh, okay.
And then Carissa gave him an A, and then the other judge gave him a B.
Oh,
but
he didn't get a triple A.
He did not get a triple A, but he won. He won in my heart. I was really blown away by how good Rusty is now. But that's comedy. That's comedy. Like,
that's practice. That's us.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of MMA. MMA, you can't, like, the older you get. I mean, you might get better, but comedy, like, the longer you do it, the better you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you been doing it?
It'll be a year this month.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it'll be 1 full year this month.
So is it, how much, like, compared to fighting, how much do you love comedy? I mean, is it which one is on the forefront?
Fighting's always.
I think we figured this one out.
I love violence. Man. I love violence,
but not violence at the comedy show.
Not at a comedy show.
Don't bring that.
I'll tell people sometimes. I'm like, look, hey, I know other comics tolerate heckling, but, like, I will beat the fuck out of you.
I believe him. I believe him. That would be some shit. I would love to be at one where some dude's like,
what'd you say?
Oh man. Or have you, okay. And I asked this because I've been to so many open mics here and it's happened. Have you done an open mic where somebody gets up and starts saying racist shit?
Yeah, and I just look at them and kind of laugh, and, like, the whoever is hosting usually will just be like, yeah, well,
I mean, that's
Juan
their
is
job.
Right there.
You do realize that dude like hits people for a living. Yeah, that's got to be, yeah. Which to me in this day and age blows my mind that people are like, yeah, I'm gonna go do comedy, and for the first time, or maybe I'm new at it, I'm gonna do these. Number one, I'm gonna do these racist jokes, or I'm gonna do these, like, sexist jokes, or I'm gonna do jokes about rape. All seem a little odd.
I mean, and my thing is, if you're charismatic enough, you can pull off damn near any joke.
Yeah, correct.
Like,
these people
a lot of my jokes, like, and it's something I've been working on through feedback. It's like a lot of people will say, like, a lot of my premises can come off misogynistic, so, like, I've changed how I write jokes as a result of that.
Right.
But I also, like, Steph brought it up to me. He's like, dude, you do realize that, like, when you get up there and people see you, they see a 6'5", like, pro athlete dude. They don't see someone that's like everyone else. So you can't tell jokes as if you are like everyone else. I mean, that's a mistake that I was making for a while. And now I'm working on it now. Like, so I'll try to lead into something.
You know what? And I'm going to say hi real quick to Eva Blaylock. But you know what? Like, I love that, because you know what? Let me go a little farther and stuff. Not when you get up there. Everywhere. Like when I first met you, like, you were with all the comedians. Well, you don't look like anybody. Comedians. You're a 6'5", like, dude who looks like you fuck people up. And for you, like, for me, like, if I went to a comedy show and you got up there and you talked about, like, fucking people up, and I'd be like, okay. But if you got up there and you were like, what's wrong with airlines? I would be like, oh, I'm into this guy right here, because I'd be like, this is not what I expected, and I'm here for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what they were trying to say. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. So it just changed the premise, because someone else was like, it sounds like you're punching down a lot when you do jokes, and I'm like, I'm not. It's like, if you listen to the words that I'm saying, I find it strange when blank happens. I'm not saying any group here or whatever. And so there's that, and I've also made jokes. Like I've done entire sets like calling out people's own hypocrisy. I was like, oh yeah, you guys, we all believe in equality, right? So someone gets up here and tells pussy jokes for 5 minutes.
Right.
I should get up here and tell pussy jokes for 5 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not the same?
No.
So what? Why? Because I'm a man? Oh, so we're not equal.
No.
Or we're separate but equal.
Right.
I remember that one, right? Or like, that joke only had a 60% chance of landing. Like stuff like that. And it makes people really like, yes, I'm aware of it, but it's also BS. Like you can't hold one group of people to one standard and different group of people to another standard. And that was something that I thought was like, and and now I just recognize it is what it is. So I've changed my jokes and how I write jokes. And I've gone back and redone some jokes.
But see, for you to do that, here's what I look at when you're saying this. I look at you saying that, like you talking about writer's circle, you talking about those, and you're like, I've only been doing it a year. And I'm like, man, then that means you're ahead of the game of a lot of people. Because you immediately are
way
like,
ahead.
You're like, well, because someone was like, hey, you're funny. You should go do this. And then you got up there and you were funny. But then you were like, well, how can I craft this better? I'm going to train, because it is training, right?
Right.
And I think it's awesome because like if I went and saw a comedy show and you walked out, I'd be like, okay, big athlete guy, probably, I would have preconceived notions. I'd be like, big athlete guy is going to do, dumb jokes, silly. And then if you came out and you're like, boom, 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 I'd be like, what the fuck? Because Steph's kind of like that.
Yeah. And that's a bit of advice he had given me. And like, I lean more so when I tell jokes, like, yes, there's some very crass stuff in there, but I lean more towards like cerebral jokes. So that's kind of what I like to joke about. But at the same time, I recognize that some people might not be on that cognitive level. So you have to try to make jokes universally funny, not just funny for people of a certain demographic.
Hit the biggest audience you can hit.
Right. So, and I've been, and I've had some great sets, and Sarah and Kelly were really big in that. I got to a point where I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, it's like I'm not in like it's. Well, it was a point where it was like
I find the entire concept terrifying. I've always wanted to do stand up, but it like really freaks me out.
Do you get stage fright?
I used to. Well, like a lot of stuff is just like how I am as a person. Like I'm always moving, like doing something. Like I have like a lot of like little physical tics that aren't super pronounced. Cause I can just chill. Like I'm pretty laid back, but like I'm always moving something. So like when I'm on stage, like I'll shuffle my feet sometimes.
Right.
I'll have a hand in my pocket, little stuff like that. And I'm working on that, trying to get like my whole body
control,
into it.
Dang, you're way ahead of the game.
But like when I it's different, man. Cause like when I fight, it's just like that's it. Like it's second nature. I love it. When I'm in front of people, like I still sweat sometimes. Like when I go up on stage, I'll sweat. When I do
it's different muscles, man.
When I do karaoke, like I sweat. Like
really?
Yeah. But I do karaoke to get better at public speaking.
Okay. Like karaoke was a thing. So
where do you karaoke at?
Yeah. Red Door.
Red Door, Bourbon and Boots.
And I didn't know Red Door had a karaoke.
Yeah, Monday nights.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, Safe House Distillery does it Saturday nights now.
Ooh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, Wednesday nights I usually go to the Tatted Bee to do
that Chris Lorig. The Tatted.
I might have to go to the Saturday night one. I did not know that was a
I'm sorry, you said I haven't been to that place. Tatted Bee.
Yeah, it's the Northeast Heights area.
Okay. I've seen the ads for it, and I was like, oh, that's new. So for me, karaoke was a little okay. What's to say? Eva Black says, "You know what never disappoints? Fart jokes, or really just farts." No, Hey, I'm 100% into that. You want to hear my fart noise?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Like I'll do that. And my friends all
laugh. That's fart from a tight butthole.
That's right.
You beat me, man. I just did like a raspberry.
Yeah, but like, what was I gonna say? So karaoke for me, because I have no stage fright. Like I'll get up.
Yeah, this fat bastard.
I get up in front of a lot of people and I don't care. Now, karaoke was tough though, because like all of my friends are fucking insanely good musicians. Some of them are some of the best singers in Albuquerque.
All of them are ringers.
Ringers. Ringers.
Incredibly hard.
The best is to go to like the Heights or something to like some karaoke, and like every
I'm talking. These people have platinum records on their
some
walls.
Some of them do, yeah.
And so it's very hard to be. We sing around them,
right? So my favorite is like every karaoke spot to me has a mini boss.
Yeah,
it's that person that their whole week is like geared towards that Thursday night when they get to go sing in front of everybody, and that's their little fame, that's their little like
their moment.
And so like I love to go with my friends where like we walk into like a karaoke place that we've never been to and whatever, and then like a couple of them will go up and sing, and you immediately know who the mini boss is because they will beeline for the DJ, and they'll be like they'll cue up their wheels, their song that's in their wheelhouse, like their Celine Dion, their Adele, their but here's where I got over my issue with karaoke is like I was like I can sing decent, but like my goal is not to go up there and be the best singer in the room. My goal is to go up there and be the best performer in the room, to be the best. Like I'm going to go up there and I'm going to dance around and I'm going to have fun and I'm going to like be expressive with my body and have fun with it. And that's when people are like, good job. Like, and that's when I enjoy it. And it's like, if I go up there to like sing the song as closely as it's been sang by the original artist, nope. I'm going up there to like, everywhere around the world, they're coming to America, and I'm like all over the place, I'm like, today, and that's when you're like, and then people are like, oh, okay, yeah. Got it. Yeah. Because I'm not going to out sing anybody.
There's two different ways of doing it.
Yeah. I'm not
either you nail it
anybody
on like the vocal side or you nail it on the performance side. Like those are the two ways.
And I'll as a person who didn't like to go up and do karaoke, I'll get people to go do karaoke that have never done it before. It's kind of weird.
One of my favorite things to do is I'll do like these boots are made for walking, but I'll do it in the style of the B-52s. Specifically.
Me too, Eva. Yeah. I miss it as well. The Atomic Cantina. It was next to where I was going to say Burt's, but not Burt's. It's Echoes now.
It is Echoes now, yeah.
Eva wants to hear you sing the B-52s.
These boots are made for walking. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Kelly Trapnell says the best way to karaoke is to surf the vibe. Learn from Sarah, and you got to pick songs you actually know. Yes, you got to.
Lyrics are very important.
Here's the thing, though.
There's nothing like people like mumbling through a song.
I agree with that. You got to pick songs you know, but you also got to pick songs you can do, because some songs you may know and love, but you can't do them.
Yeah,
they're not good if you do them.
You guys know I'm drunk if I'm singing a Sam Smith song. Bro.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'd love to hear that. That'd be some shit right there.
I can't hit any of these notes.
You're trying to hit those high notes. Yes, I do.
What's your go-to song?
Walking in Memphis.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
All right.
I do that one. I do Take Me to Church.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Kelly's like, if you're really good, picking a theme and sticking with it's really fun. Yeah, if you're really that good. Like, Jesus. She said she did douchebag karaoke one time.
Kelly and Sarah are great at karaoke. They say
they are
good.
Oh, you know what? No, the comedy scene in fucking Albuquerque is good at goddamn karaoke. Sarah had a birthday or something. We were at something at Moonlight Lounge and they had karaoke, and I was like, okay. What is like these guys do comedy and they're all fucking singers? What the fuck? This is bullshit.
Ringers. All our
ringers,
all our friends are ringers.
Yeah. I was like, have you done karaoke with all the comedians?
Yeah.
Dude, there's some singers in there, man. I was like blown away. I was like, what the fuck? Let's see. We left so y'all could shine. JK. Oh, well, thank you. Small title. Tell him, Brody. Tell him. Oh, Brody.
I made eye contact with the wiener dog.
Yeah, that'll happen. I will say this. Last night, Brody, Lekka sang. She didn't do comedy. Well, she did comedy. She did guitar comedy last night, and one of her songs was "Long Body Dog," and I've been singing "Long Body Dog" to my dog since last night.
You're all, that's you.
Yeah.
This song's about you.
And how the dog poops in the house. I was like, "Yep, that's my dog." I was like, it was funny when I had to do the judging part. I was like, "Well, like I feel like you cheated because you've met my dog, and you knew that if you sang a song about wiener dogs, I was gonna like this." And I said I was gonna give you a really bad grade, but you also sang a song about Allsups. And I do love Allsups, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an A. So I gave it an A.
That's a double whammy right there.
Yeah.
That's great. That's greatness.
Yeah, long body dog. Like she's all. I suffer from LBD, long body dog.
My dog's not long.
No, you have
He's just a big dog.
You have a Malamute, like
he's
husky
a Malamute
yeah.
husky mix. He just looks pure husky. He's just way too big at his age.
See,
to be pure husky.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when you said you had a dog, I was really hoping you had a small dog.
If I had a small dog, dude, here's the problem, man. And you're not gonna believe this.
Yeah.
A lot of people think I'm gay.
No, what?
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah.
If you are, cool. If not,
no,
but
like I feel like that would just add to that because like I get hit on a lot by men.
Okay,
and I'm not a fan of it. Like I appreciate the courage it takes to approach me, but like it's not my thing.
It's not your thing.
Not my thing.
Yeah.
However, then it was right when I like went pro for fighting. A lot of like trans women would hit on me.
You're not gonna like,
but they wouldn't. They weren't like
Mickey Rourke and like
they were
just
like
have like
in
a puppy dog.
Still, so like it was just a strange thing for me, and I would always say the same thing, like, "Hey, look, I appreciate that, but it's not my thing."
Yeah.
But I'm like, what vibe am I giving off that makes so many?
The hot vibe.
Yeah, like
you're giving off the hot vibe.
Maybe that's probably it, because. But then I look back and like there are like I wore a romper on ESPN one time for one of my fights to promote it. Like I wore a romper for that, and then I used to be a stripper also. So I
like how you were like, what vibe am I giving off? Then you're like, I wore a romper.
Yeah,
I used to be a stripper.
So then I was like, it's a fair play, but I feel like if I got a small dog, like that would just.
I just think it's funny, like. Big guy, because I have a small.
You might have to just get like a cowboy hat after that, right?
I have a cowboy hat. Actually, I wear it frequently, but like I don't think that stuff is like.
So the small dog might just like.
Who cares if it is? It's either or.
But like I've never liked small dogs either. I don't like them.
Did you hear that, Brody? Did you hear what he said to you?
They bark and they're loud. Like I
don't know where you get that about Brody that she barks.
I like big dogs. Is typically they're a little more chill, and that matches my vibe. I'm out here vibing, man. And, so that's why I got a big dog. He's adorable.
I get you. If there's a small animal in the house, I prefer it to be a cat or maybe a ferret.
I had a ferret once. I don't want.
They smell so bad.
They smell so bad. Yeah. They smell bad. Not that Brody doesn't smell bad sometimes.
Like any of these animals smell great.
No, ferrets really smell bad.
I give my dog good, dude. I spoil my dog, my little puppy. He gets groomed twice a month. Yeah, twice a month.
Smells like flowers.
Yeah, I take him. He's got his own little bag of treats. I've got him 3 different variety of treats, so he can choose. Like,
wow,
he has a sweet treat, he has a salmon treat, and he has a savory cheese.
I always wonder how people know this. Like, I mean, a savory, I get like these are really sweet. And like, have you tried them? I'm not sure.
It says sweet on the package. I might eat my dog.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, I'll do all that.
I feel like a negligent pet owner now.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
have
take him to the dog.
3 different treats.
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
take
the
him to
do you have the
dog
treats
park.
for their breath? Like
No,
Brody has the ones for her
he has
breath.
dental sticks.
Dental
Yeah,
sticks.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
He also, so I let him pick his own toys when we go to PetSmart.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's it's strange because he's so chill. He doesn't fight other dogs, but we're
Good, yeah.
chilling. And we went to PetSmart and there's this little duck toy.
Mhm.
Went straight for the neck and like would not let go of the duck's neck. So I'm like, all right, well, I gotta buy it now. And then he found out how to make it squeak. And so
Oh,
that little
they hate that shit.
Yeah,
Did he rip it out?
Nah, he's
Oh.
trying to, I think. And then we went in the other day and he grabbed another toy and wouldn't put it down. And I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna get you this toy.
Yeah.
You're gonna chill. Like, I'm not going bankrupt at PetSmart.
And then you're kind of like, I'm probably gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah,
at PetSmart.
probably, yeah. I got
So,
him a fancy collar and everything.
You saw the cat. You saw the dog, right?
Yeah.
So I had the cat first. So my friend Eva, she turned me on to the owner of Brody. So I got Brody, and Brody and the cat, they tolerated each other right away. Right now, Brody, like the first couple of weeks, Brody could go outside and the cat could not, and it bothered the cat. Like his dream was like, I want to go outside. So one day, Brody and I were outside, and the cat was at the door, and he would climb up the screen, you know. And so I opened the door, and the cat jumps outside, and I'm assuming he's going to jump out and run away right away. So I'm like, no. Brody catches the cat by the neck midair, slams him down, and is like writhing him around. Like she has his neck in her mouth. And I'm thinking like, oh my God.
This is it.
This is it. She's killing the cat. She's holding him down and she stops and she's holding him down. And I have to like grab her head and I have to like pry her off the cat. And I'm thinking like in his neck's like, I feel wet and I'm like, oh, he's bleeding. And I go inside and like I'm washing off the dirt and there's no blood. There's nothing. And he's just like stationary, like, and I put him down and he's like kind of like chills out and he walks off and I'm like, okay, I'm hoping there's nothing internally wrong with him. But like she didn't hurt him. She just caught him and was like, it was that one moment where she was like, I'm the boss. You're a dickhead and you think you're a dickhead, but I'm the boss. And that was it. They've never had a fight. Like every once in a while, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they speak a language. Every once in a while, she'll be up on a chair and he'll just kind of walk up and look at her and she'll just fucking lunge at him. And it's almost like she, you know, like he walks up and he's like, what's up, asshole? And she just like goes, what? Like, and just, but, you know, it's the weirdest thing. And it'll just happen like once every like 2 months. Like he just kind of walks in and mouths off to her, you know, like, I don't know what it is. It's the weirdest fucking dynamic, but he disappeared for 6 weeks.
So scary.
And I put up posters, everything, and I could actually tell she was a little depressed that he was gone.
Oh,
And he just came back one day.
that's awesome.
And you know, but that's cats, you know.
That bastard.
Yeah.
I was lining up presents
Yeah.
for Chris here. I was like, condolences
Mhm.
presents. I'm like, I'm so sorry that your cat is missing.
Right.
That your cat is gone. And then he just showed up. Just walked in all, what the fuck?
Yeah, he walked in fucking filthy and he lost like a pound and he was like screaming at me like I was a piece of shit for not looking for him. I was like, I put up posters, asshole. I don't know where you were. I thought you were dead. Like I had written him off. I was like sad about it.
I thought he was dead too. I was getting you condolences presents, dude. I was like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry about your cat. And he just like shows up.
Yeah, because he can go outside now and like
Yeah.
he loves to get up on top of the house and like just look down on you.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how they assert their hierarchy.
No, he's condescending. He's a dick. You know, he knows.
My
He's like-
dog is he's weird, man. Like as long as he can see me, he's chilling. But like if he can't see me, he always knows. Like he like as soon as I'm coming back.
Yeah.
But if I'm like in the area,
But he can't see
and
you.
he can't see me,
Yeah.
vocal as hell. Like when I got him groomed, they're like, "Oh my God, you have the sweetest. This is the best husky I've ever washed." Blah blah blah. They have him back there drying off.
Mm-hmm.
He hears me walk in, or he sees me walk in, howling instantly.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, bro, come
The vet won't see my cat unless I give him drugs.
on.
He's that fucked up. Like he'll fuck him up. Like he goes crazy. He hates the ride in the car. He hates like the going to the vet.
See, yeah, mine didn't like riding in the car the
Mhm.
first couple of times, but now because I drive a lot for work, I have to drive our clients from to a different house, or when we pick up a client, I got to drive them to the house. They have an appointment, I got to go drive them somewhere. But like the dog comes with me, and like he sits in the front seat pretty chill.
Oh wow.
He loves the back seat because I put his 2 toys back there. He's back there fucking those toys up.
Yeah.
And he only gets vocal in the car if I like stop the car and I'm paying attention to something other than him. Like he's
Like driving.
Yeah. Well, no, he's fine if I'm driving, but if he hears me start talking to somebody,
He's all, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. He's all, I'm the one you pay attention to.
Yeah.
So do you have any fights coming up? Like what's happening here?
Yeah. June 21st, I'm fighting in Nashville, Florida.
And I'm sorry, Nashville, Florida?
Yeah.
What? Like that's
I was hoping it would be Miami, like,
well, where's Nashville, Florida?
I don't even know, but I hope it's close enough to like.
I was just really hoping that.
Hold on, let's look this up. Because Miami's a dope. I mean, Miami's a cool city.
Miami would have been so.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
It's an interesting city.
When you hear Nashville, Florida, you just assume like, I'm sure that's a real place.
Well, I mean, I've never heard of it. I mean, there's like Hollywood, Florida. So let's see where this shit's at.
Florida is. I'm from Arkansas, so Florida is what we call the South.
I don't even see that on the map. Let's see. Map. Nashville, Florida. Oh, no, it is not close to Miami.
It is not. That's at the top of Florida.
Dude, but it's close to Tampa. Tampa's a dope-ass city, I've heard.
It is.
I would drive down to Tampa after.
Yeah, that's not close.
That's
like a 6-hour drive.
To Tampa? No.
Oh, no, that's Nashville, Florida.
It's right here, and then Tampa's right here. It's close. It's probably it's probably a suburb of Tampa.
Oh, for sure.
All the pro wrestlers moved to Tampa. It's like a big area for people. It's supposed to be really cool.
Man, find one of those retired divas out there.
There you go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you can. What did they say? Ybor City? Is that what that? I don't know what that means.
No.
So that's when?
June 21st.
Who's that for? Bare Knuckle?
Yeah, BYB, the Triangle Ring.
The Triangle Ring. So have you fought in the other one? There's one that's like they fight here all the time.
Yeah, I fought for them. That was my debut.
What's that? Who are they? BFC?
BKFC.
BKFC. Because I met Kai. God, what's his name? Is it Kai Taylor? He's like the flyweight bare knuckle guy. They had him at Duke City Championship Wrestling.
Oh no.
So who's the big bare knuckle? Who's the big one? Who's the UFC of bare knuckle fighting?
I would say BKFC. I don't know because BKB is older. And they're like their international competitor, but BKFC is really they're doing their thing. They're coming up.
Who's the Pride fighting? Do you remember Pride?
I do remember Pride,
dude,
man.
I think there's a documentary coming out about Pride fighting.
That'd be dope.
That was one of the coolest. That was when MMA was fucking at its.
Dude, you could like knee grounded opponents, head stomps. And
I love
shit.
what I loved about Pride fighting. They're like, let's put cameras on the ref. Like the ref has the cameras on him, and then like the first round, Pride. Did you watch Pride fighting, Smiley? Back in the day?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Pride fighting was there was the UFC in the United States. In Japan, they had what was called Pride. And Pride was like I don't know how to explain it. I want to say a little bit outlaw.
Yeah.
So round one, like you had 3-round fight. Round one was 10 minutes long. Right? It was like a 10-minute round, and then round 2 and 3 were like 5, and you could you could knee people. You could kick, like if someone was laying on the ground, you could kick them. You know, right? You could literally soccer kick someone in the head, like while they were laying on the ground. But dude, there was some guys in Pride that were like like Krokop. Remember Krokop?
Yeah.
Krokop, his legs were so strong. He kicked this guy in the side like twice, and the guy went down and tapped out. Or just getting kicked in the side. Like,
yeah,
it was a different time. You had Rampage Jackson, you had Anderson Silva, you had
smashing people.
Just all who was the other Vanderlei Silva?
The Axeman.
I gotta duck out real quick.
Okay. And then Mark Kerr. Did you see that The Rock is doing a biopic of Mark Kerr?
Yeah, he doesn't even look like The Rock at all.
Like, here's the thing that trips me out about, like, I saw the previews for that movie. How do they change his body to look like that? Do you think there's like some sort of like body suit he's wearing?
I think he works out differently. Probably.
It's weird because his body looks like Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Method acting for you, man.
Yeah. Also great Muay Thai. Wow. Does Eva Blaylock watch Muay Thai? Dang. That's so you've got bare knuckle fighting coming up. That's pretty cool. Do you got any stand-up coming on?
Yeah, May 20th. I'm doing like a 10 minutes at the Block, and then May 28th, AJ Matthews is starting a comedy showcase thing at Bourbon and Boots.
Okay.
He asked me to open for him on May 28th. So
how many minutes do you have?
10.
You have 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Like a tight 10?
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been working on I've been writing and retooling some of my best jokes. The last 2 new jokes that I've introduced have gone really well. And so it's helping a lot, and the writing circle really helps a lot.
And the thing that's cool is I'm glad that still exists.
Yeah. And Steph is really doing great teaching it. It's like Sarah and Kelly really started something great out here with that, and all respect to them. We're definitely gonna miss them. It's
a thing that, like, I feel like people haven't realized it yet. You're realizing it, and I feel like a lot of people took some of that for granted. That, like, because I remember watching. I've been around the Albuquerque downtown scene since probably 2009, I would say. And when I first came around, there was comedy, there was what do you call it? Slam poetry was really big, and that was like not some good, some bad. Music has always been big. I mean, it's music, but like the comedy scene for a long time was really just the Wild West of, like, it was all just we're gonna do a comedy show at Red Door. But it wasn't Red Door. It was whatever it was at that time. We're gonna do a comedy show at this place, at this place, and this place, and this place. And they came in and they were like, look, you can do those still, but let's have this place. And it was really shitty that they had to show Albuquerque that you could have a comedy, like, because there wasn't. There was Laughs was a comedy's place that people remember. It went under, and then everybody was like,
when I was like 17.
Yeah,
and
everybody was like, we can't support one here. It can't be done. And Sarah came in, and Kelly came in, and Sarah did a podcast, like, kind of like, detailing like why we should have one. And then they did it, and then all of a sudden people were like, oh, it was like the 4-minute mile had been broken, or the or whatever, the barrier. All of a sudden there's like, oh, we first of all, they showed that it could be done. Second of all, they showed it could be done without alcohol, which was another fucking amazing feat. And then all of a sudden you had casadas, and then all of a sudden you have hyenas. And I'm not disparaging those people, but, like, I don't think they would be here if it wasn't for Sarah and Kelly.
Definitely not.
No,
definitely not. And
no, not at all.
It also gives space to
maybe hyenas.
It's weird because comedy is, for the longest time, was very, like, much gatekept by men. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like they really provided a space for marginalized people,
Right.
especially to get opportunities and stage time. And,
Right.
you know, there's been some really good comics that have come from
Fuck
that.
yeah.
And now, like me, I'm not part of that community. You know, I'm cishet guy, you know, but
Yeah.
I understand what it feels like to be marginalized.
Sure.
I understand what it feels like to be othered, and I understand like a lot of these
I'm a cis white male. I totally.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm fucking.
But and so like I think it's really cool that that's been done.
Right.
And you know, it's the feedback that I've gotten has been more so to make sure that I keep those things in mind, as opposed because a lot of the time, like for the longest, I was telling jokes as if I was like you know an average white guy, and you know I'm not. You know, like it's just
What?
you know, but
what?
But it's weird because there's a lot of stuff that like I don't realize because my whole life I've just been me. Like I don't see how other people see me.
That could have been an
Right.
interesting
Well,
shtick, though.
yeah,
You're like,
like, and,
let
like, so-
me tell a bunch of jokes
And
about
like
me
it's
being white.
funny because like I was telling jokes one I was like I had done like 3 or 4 sets about like just dating and like how it was just a shit show. And someone was like, it's not believable because you're attractive. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I forget that.
You're all, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see you do a joke where you're like, you ever hit a man so hard that his head bounces off the wall, and you're like, you know, it's you know, and people are like, no, no, I have not.
Not just me. Okay.
I guess that's just me.
Yeah,
No.
so it's different, and like it the whole point of comedy is like it's about connection. You know, it's about being relatable and being able to give like a funny view on something that people can relate to.
Yeah.
And that can be hard sometimes if you're not a relatable person. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like a bigger thing too is also like finding your voice, because like a lot of times you start not everybody, maybe not you, but like a lot of people start because they emulate someone else,
Right.
and they're like, oh, I love this person, and I love their cadence, and I love their, because like comedy, comedy, music, writing, you know, certain people have certain cadence. And so like a lot of times when people will start comedy or whatever, they'll be like, oh, I love Stephen Wright, I love, you know, Louis C.K., I love whatever, and they'll emulate that, and then you'll see them a couple of years later, and then they don't, and you're like, they found their voice. You know what I mean? And I always enjoy that. I find that
and like
amazing.
my favorite comics like growing up was like Patrice O'Neill, Richard
Right.
Pryor.
Oh, Patrice.
I love Patrice O'Neill.
Have you seen like Bill Burr where he they ask him, there's an interview and they ask him about Patrice, and he stops, and like his body language, you could tell he like immediately like misses him.
Yeah.
And he goes off on like how he's like, I miss that guy. And then he's like, we had he's like, there was me and that guy. We would he's like, I would see him at the Comedy Cellar. We would have the greatest times. Then we would fucking talk shit to each other. He's like, then there was times I didn't even want to go there because I knew he would fucking be there. And he goes, and then he stops and he goes, I still have arguments with him in my mind. And I'm like, fuck, you know, like that's how you knew he loved them, you know, like, you know, and he was so good.
Yeah, he was great. And
so good.
And you know, it's weird because when I watch comedy now that I've done it a few times, it's like, you know, Dave Chappelle, obviously one of my favorites.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like I really love the stuff where like it makes you think a little bit, right?
Yes.
And now upcoming, like I really love Josh Johnson's comedy.
I've never seen him. I'll check that out.
But he's doing really well, and seeing guys like that, you know, obviously like those are all black guys. I love Bill Burr's stuff too, but it's like he gets a crowd work. Like I watch other comics do crowd work, and I that's not something I ever really see myself doing, because for me, like you get one or two things to say, And I'm like, yo, all right, it's time for you to shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, I will beat your ass.
Did you ever see? Did you ever get a chance to see? I don't know if you can find it anymore. Where it's legendary now. Where they were doing the set. They were like doing the comedy show in Philadelphia, and the crowd was fucking heckling every single comedian. And then he fucking comes out and he's like, fuck all of you from Philadelphia. He's like, fuck the Flyers. He's like, fuck the Phillies. Fuck the. He's like, go fuck yourself with your fucking cracked bell. And he just goes to town. And by the end of it, he's like getting a standing ovation, and all he's doing is just shitting all over Philadelphia. And I'm like, that's amazing. Yeah. And he's one of the. I mean, like there's like Chappelle, Bill Burr was on Chappelle's show. Like those guys. Like there are certain comedians that like you just look at them and go, wow, they're just they have it. Chappelle is one of them, man. He was.
One of the funniest sets I watched Chappelle do. He was like, he's talking about how when he first started comedy, he was like 14, 15 years old. Like,
oh yeah, in DC.
Yeah, and he was like, most comics talk about their life experiences, and I didn't have any, so it was me just talking about taking a shit, and I'm like, yeah, I get that,
Well, that's like Eddie Murphy too. Eddie Murphy was like 17. And that's when they brought him into like SNL. He was like doing stand up at like 17. And are you getting a drink, Smiley?
Yeah.
Can I have a beer? If there's a beer in there, I'll have one. Do you want something?
Yeah, I'll do another.
Topo Chico. All right.
Topo Chico.
But Eddie Murphy was like that. Like he was kind of the same thing. Like he did actually the take a shit thing too.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of crazy. Like, but those are prodigies. I think. Yeah.
Those guys are next level, and
that's like Michael Jordan shit, where you're like,
exactly.
they're just gonna be the badasses.
And I really enjoy like watching that stuff, like being able to take any topic and just kind of talk about it. And that's one of the things I do now. Like, it helps with writing is like anything that happens, I'm like, how can I make this funny? What do I find funny about that? My sense of humor is a little messed up, so I obviously don't like tell all those jokes. But it helps me in writing the jokes that I do tell. Right? Yeah. And there's certain stuff that's like not relatable. Like, there was a time where I was just talking about my interactions of me sleeping with strippers, right? Like, a lot of people don't sleep with strippers. It's just like it is what it is. But I don't know why. They like me, I like them, whatever.
I've got all these jokes about talking with my cat. I don't understand why no one's bonding with me on about this.
But see that in itself is a good thing, because okay, people are like, well, what do you interview a lot of celebrities? And I'm like, whatever, I'll do it, but I'm not interested in it, and I'm interested in people like you. You know why? Because you know what? Average person who listens to this show is not you. Like, they don't fucking hit people in the fucking head for a living. They're driving to work tomorrow, and they're like listening. Like they're driving to their job. That's going to be like 8 hours of menial of like data entry or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I like to hit people, and I like violence, and I like to punch people.
This guy forgets where I work.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like willfully. I work at a liquor store.
He does.
I hit people every week.
He does. Smiley comes in and he goes, man, he's like, at work they got us bulletproof vests and asps to hit people. And I'm like, Smiley, you work at a place that's probably not you shouldn't work at. But he does.
Yeah.
But see, that's the kind of content I want. I want the people who like, what? Like someone's like, who's your dream guest? And I'm like, a retired waste management worker. And people are like, really? Why? I'm like, if someone who worked in waste management their whole life, they have some fucking stories. Oh yeah, we found a hand. Whatever. Crazy shit. Like
literal
found
crazy
shit. Yeah, like crazy shit. Like you imagine the stories. Like like guy that's worked at like as a for Comcast his whole career. Like I was talking to a Comcast guy one time, and he was like, what do you do? I was like, I do podcasts. He's like, really? He's like, you shot me on a show, dude. He's like, he's like, one time, man, he's like, they were like, yeah, here's the attic. If you need to go up in there, and he's like, I go up the ladder, and he's like, right away, I found a fucking box full of dildos. Like shit like that. Like I'm like, yes, because people who listen to podcasts, like they're on the treadmill, they're on whatever, and they want, what is the biggest trend in podcasting? True crime.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, but like if I have you on and you're like, yeah, man, I like to hit people, I like to be violent. I'm like, there we are.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times people are like, why don't you carry a gun? I'm like, bro, I love violence.
Dude, I am a gun.
Like, guns are made for people like me. Like, that's why I'm the reason people created guns. I don't need one.
See, because okay, like I've fought a decent amount of times in my life. Like, and then I've here's the thing about people. People can say they are who they are, and you're like, okay, until and you're like, you don't believe them until shit happens, till the shit hits the fan, and then you know who people are.
Right.
Right? And it's like when a bad situation is happening, do you freeze or do you run over and help, or do you do whatever? Do you do what's needed? And I was like that, where like I was like, I don't know what kind of person I am until fucked up shit happened. And then like I've had like two situations. One of them recently, where like some lady was in I just gotten a fucking shot in my arm for shingles, and like when I was getting the shot, I was getting the shot for shingles.
I heard that hurts,
and I was getting a shot for tetanus.
Ooh.
And the lady comes over and she goes,
why would you double down on that?
Because you go on the Walgreens website and they're like, which shots do you need? And it's like, you can get up to 5 at one time. And I was like, oh, all right. You know what? I'll probably just do 2 right now. I'll do the tetanus because I haven't had a tetanus shot in a long time. And I'll do the shingles one because I'm 50. And I go in and the lady's like, oh man, this shingles shot's going to hurt. And I was like it's going to hurt my arm later. She goes, no, it's gonna hurt right now. And I went, oh, all right. And she's all, I'm not gonna do them both in the same arm. It felt like somebody stabbed me with a fucking knife,
dude.
For like 5 fucking days, right?
Awful.
So I leave, and I'm like, so I've lost like 60 pounds in like a year. So I try to eat pretty well, but after getting the shingle shot, I'm like, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna have a good breakfast. I'm gonna go across the street and I'm gonna have a breakfast. And it's right off Central in Old Town, right? And I pull in and I get out of the car and I hear someone screaming. Well, I'm jaded because I'm from I live in Albuquerque, and I'm like, Central, someone just screaming, someone just randomly screaming. And I end up looking over and I see this car. It's like a 4-door car. And there's a woman in a wheelchair, like behind the car. And she's like, help me, help. Oh my God. And she has her arm like this, right? All right. I see no one else. I run over and it's very windy outside. And I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? So what had happened was she was getting stuff out of her car to go. This is at a police substation in Old Town, right? She got out of her car, got in her wheelchair, and she'd wheeled to the back of the car and got in her trunk to get her stuff out. As she was reaching in, the wind blew the trunk shut and smashed her thumb between the car and the trunk, and she was trapped. Her thumb was crushed between and she's like, oh my God, help. And I'm thinking I'm got to lift the trunk a little so she can get out. And she's like, no, pop the trunk. The driver's side door is open. And I run over and I climb in, and I can't see because every car is different. And I was like, where is it? She's like, it's next to the steering wheel. And I look over and there's just a plastic button, and I hit it and it goes ka-kunk. And I get out and she pulls her arm away and she goes, ah. And then immediately she goes, ah, and blood just pours down her arm.
Oh.
And I run over and I'm like, do you want me to call 911? And she's like, no, I work here. Go inside and get help. And
I work there.
Yeah. And I run in, and it's like a police substation. So there's a woman behind bulletproof glass. So I run in and I go, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm erratic and crazy, this lady is going to think there's I'm some dude off Central. There's something fucking wrong with me. So I run in, and the lady looks at me, and I go, she's like, yes. And I go, okay, there's a woman who works here, and she's in a wheelchair. And she's like, okay. I was like, she's outside right now. Her thumb got smashed in her trunk, and she's bleeding profusely. Can you come out and help her? And she like looks at me, and she's like, oh. And she comes out right away. And I was like, thank God that worked, because in my mind I was like, this is going to be bad if I come at this the wrong way. So we go outside, and she goes, Suzanne, what did you do? And Suzanne, the lady, holds up her arm, and it's just covered in blood, right? And I'm like, what can I do? And I'm like, they're like, can you help us wheel her in? And I wheel her. But anyway, that's like the second or third time that's ever happened to me. But that's like, to me, like, how many people would run to those situations? How many people would go into a fight and be like, all right, I'm ready to go? Because people don't.
Not a lot of them, man.
No.
And so many people, especially now, because it's funny. I don't like shit. People that just talk shit for no reason.
No.
And I don't like it. But
I'm not okay. Someone who's out there just like mouthing off, I'm not afraid of that person.
Yeah.
It's the dude next to him who's saying nothing is the motherfucker I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
And for me, it's like we live in a society now that's so averse to consequence. Right?
Yeah.
And I would say violence, but we'll generalize it to consequence in general. Like, people just think that, yes, we have freedom of speech, but that's not freedom of consequence.
No, fuck
you
no.
don't get to just be out here talking spicy to everyone.
No.
And there's people out here that will like assault people just because they think it's their freedom of expression. I'm like, nah, man, like that's not how it works.
No.
Like, say if we're out and you get mad at me and pour a drink on me.
Oh no.
Right?
No.
If you get mad at me and pour a drink on me.
Why would I do that?
Like, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, right?
And
like, that's just me.
I would expect that.
There's a time, and it's funny. It's like I deal with women a lot. Like, most of my friends are women, and I have a conversation with them all the time. I'm like, you have to understand that, like, you can't in one breath scream equality and then expect to do something to a man without consequence, right? That's not how it works. I'm like, I'll defend you because I fundamentally don't believe in hitting women, but at the same time, like, don't do shit to get hit. Like, I'm.
What do you mean by that? That's
like, so
like they're hitting somebody.
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah. Like,
no, man. I mean, like,
people,
I'll defend me.
Throwing stuff on them, talking shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
doing all that crazy, like, just being out of pocket.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, like
if they're just
it happens to me all the time.
I've literally dated a girl where I had to like lock myself in the bathroom because I was like, no, because you're just beating me up for no good reason.
And like, and me being me and a pro fighter, like, I know I can't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
But at the same time, I'm just like, and what in my mind, where my mind is, it goes like, what type of life have you lived where you think that it's okay to just act like this towards people? Me, I can physically with my bare hands kill 99% of the population, like, with no tool.
Right.
And I still don't go out
just hitting. So
starting like just talking shit, being crazy to people.
Yes.
And it's weird that we live in a society now where so many people want to do that. But like, I attribute it to, like, I got my ass beat as a child, right? I learned from a very young age, like, if you're not willing to escalate to violence, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
I was in boarding school.
Correct.
Getting hit was just like normal.
My father was a Marine, and I got beat as well. But like, definitely, like, we talked about this before the show, like, being witty and smart and being able to hold your own is definitely a skill and definitely a life thing. But like, if you're not willing to go to the extreme, definitely not. And I do know what exactly, like I have to like kind of like say exactly what you're talking about, because I think maybe that could be misconstrued. Like, there are times where I know exactly what you're talking about, where like there's a situation and like two people get into like a conversation, and there's like another individual, it could be male or female, that doesn't understand the consequence of like how badly this can go, and they're like throwing gas on the fire
Right.
of the situation. Like, and I've seen women do it, I've seen men do it. We're like, you need to shut the fuck up right now. The tension here is escalated, and it needs to be de-escalated. It needs to go down. It needs to not go higher. And like, okay, this happened. So last year I was in El Paso for Comic-Con, and my friend Ming is a celebrity, and they were like, "Hey, Ming, will you come over and will you blow the horn for the El Paso Locomotive game?" And he's like, tells me, he's like, "Yeah, man, we get to go over to the El Paso Locomotive game. I get to go on the field. I get to blow the thing, the whistle." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." Well, I didn't know at the time, but like Ice and Tower from the American Gladiators were also there for the Comic-Con, right? Tower is 6'10", played football in the NFL, also was an American Gladiator. He's like in his 60s, but still look pretty good. Ice, if you watch did you watch the documentary about the American Gladiators on Netflix? Ice, go Google Ice if you're listening to this podcast. Ice is in her 50s, and she looks fucking like she lifts like she's could be in a bodybuilding competition tomorrow, right? So they're like, "Yeah, Ice and Tower are going to go over there with you guys," and I'm like, and this is after 8 hours of them being at the Comic-Con all day, dealing with fans, taking pictures, listening to fan stories, autographing stuff. So you can imagine what their level is, right?
Right.
Okay. So we walk over from the Comic-Con to the arena, and it's like, I don't know, 2 blocks, right? And Ice has on her leather jacket that's red, white, and blue, and it fucking says American Gladiators on the back. And she looks like a fucking American Gladiator, and she's standing next to Tower, who's 6'10" and looks like he could fucking cripple you with like two moves, right? And we walk up to the soccer game, and in my mind I'm like, fuck, it's just like the United. If you don't have a clear bag, they're not gonna let you in. Fuck, I didn't think of that. I have my bag. They all have backpacks because we're all like performers and we're traveling, and we all have stuff in it.
I never think about this one.
And immediately, like, there's a line, and we're not gonna. First of all, we've been among people all day.
Yeah.
And Ice is like, we're not waiting in this line. We're here because they want us here. Let's go cut right in the front. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna follow these 2 people, because they're going to be the mouthpieces. I don't have to do that work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice to like they're like the snowplow, and I'm driving behind them. And they just kind of walk in front of some people, and the people kind of look over like, what the oh. Because most people will look away and gotta go, oh, I'm not gonna deal with that. You know what I mean? They're not gonna deal with it. And
they're not going to deal with a brick house coming right at
like
them.
a big monster of a man and a monster of a woman. And like we get up to the front, and like we have handlers with us too that are like they're also the mouthpieces. They're like, "Hey, we're here because these guys are from the Comic-Con," and da 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 da. And right away, the security people are like, "Well, you're not bringing in those bags." And now all of a sudden it becomes a hubbub, and they're like, "Well, we're here because they've asked us to be here," and they're like, "Well, hold on, we'll get some people who are run things here," and it's like, okay, but we're also holding up this line to get in, and they're like, "Well, in order to make the line move faster, we'll just look in your bags, and move you inside the metal detector, to get you out of the way," which is what they just should have done and let us go, but whatever. Fine. So they look in our bags. They let us inside. All is good. Except for this 5'8" security guard who decides to tell Ice, "I don't know why you guys thought you could just come in here with your bags and stuff And she turns to him and goes, "You know what? I don't give a shit about your fucking whistle. I'll walk the fuck out of here right now." And his face goes from like smug to like, and Tower kind of like is standing behind her, and all of a sudden he realizes, yeah, I should not have fucking mouthed that off.
Yeah.
And he immediately backs down because yeah, like first Ice is a woman, so yeah, she. Sorry. And in my mind, I'm like, I wonder if like people look at the American Gladiators like they were pro wrestlers, because they aren't. They fucked people up. That's what they did, She turns to him, she goes, "I don't give a shit if I fucking go in and blow your whistle or not. I'll walk the fuck out of here." And like I was just like, yeah, man, did you really need to get that out?
Yeah, dude. And it's weird because like
Sorry, sir. I knew you were.
When I do events and stuff like that, it's so weird.
So dumb that someone just has to say it.
Yeah. And then like even out here, like when I go out, like I don't really talk to people. Like bar, strip club, wherever I'm at, like I'm doing the same thing. I'm on my phone playing a game. Like wherever I'm at, it's because that's where drinks are the cheapest at that time. Like that's where I'm. And people all the time will just be like, "So like you just come to the bar to chill on your phone?" I'm like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, I just wait for people like you to fucking talk to me.
Am I bothering you?
Yeah.
Like,
Why does that bother you? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought
like,
Golden Girls was on the TV right now. I just came in here to have a beer.
There's times where there'll like be girls at the bar, women at the bar, and they'll start talking to me, and we'll just be having a conversation.
Well, you're a hot piece.
Yeah, we're just having a conversation, and the dude wants to come up and get all like indignant. I'm like, "Sir, first of all, like I didn't buy this lady a drink. I didn't hit on her. I didn't ask for a number. Nothing. We're just having a conversation."
They like buck up to you. Is what's happening?
Yeah, and I'm like, and one dude was like, "Oh yeah, you think you're big and bad because you're a pro fighter?" Like I'm like, no.
No, I know that, but
I'm like, bro, like if you want to fight, we can. But I'm really not trying to do that. Like, you want a shot? Like,
yeah, you're all. I enjoy it. Yeah. I enjoy it. I'm either entertained by the phone or entertained by hitting you. Which entertainment would you like for me to do? Man?
So that's but it's just strange. Like so many people, like I think it's because not enough people have been in fights. I feel like everyone needs to be in a fight in their life to understand that like you don't need to escalate them.
No,
like, you don't need to prove yourself.
Yeah, none of this needs to happen.
Like it doesn't have to happen.
My goal, like when I was in college, there was a lot of that, and I was into fights, but like a lot of it was like my goal was not to escalate. It was to like take it down. Like we would throw a lot of parties, and there would always be people that would fight.
There are several different ways of taking down.
And I mean, I remember like grabbing people from behind, choking them out, and like throwing, literally
go to sleep.
The goal was to get you out of the door. My goal was, I don't want the party to end. I want the party to continue. So if I can get you out the door, then I will get you out. And I would always, if I couldn't do it, I had friends that could do it. I had a friend who was the state champion Golden Gloves fighter. I had another friend who was an MMA fighter. And I mean, there was one way or another, like, let's all calm down and have a good time. If you can't, then you get to go.
Yeah.
You get to go.
And I was like, the biggest thing when I was running nightclubs is just, dude, I don't want to kick you out. Your behavior is what's causing you to leave. So just stop the behavior.
Yeah.
That's simple.
It's easy.
Like, and I would do it, man. I would make them feel special. I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, you know what? I'll give you free access to the second floor. Y'all go chill up there, leave them alone down here, whatever.
Yeah. Then, but if I have to come up to the second floor, you're flying off the second floor.
Exactly. My thing was I would pick people up under their arms like a baby and like shake them. I was like,
for people who are listening, he's 6'5". He makes me look little.
So I'll pick him up and shake him, and then I'll put him down and just be like, stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Eva Blaylock says, gotta go, but I would happily fight any three of you lovelies. Guaranteed I would win with hugs. You would.
Oh.
Aw.
Mhm.
She's gonna fight you with her hugs.
I would run away. Scream.
I would not fight Evil Blaylock.
No, I would not
I wouldn't
at
fight
all.
anybody. I don't want to see. That's the thing in life. I'm the opposite. I don't want to fight anyone.
Well, like now I
Yeah.
get paid to fight, so I get paid thousands of dollars
Yeah.
to fight. So I don't want to do it for free, but I do love it. Like there's the thing a lot of people don't understand. It's like
Yeah.
I'll go there if you really want to, but
You want to go to the darkness? Let's roll.
like I don't think most people want to go to that.
Yeah,
level.
no, it's just part of my job.
I mean-
I'll be like, there's like, oh hey, some naked woman's coming up at me and trying to
Mhm.
bite my face.
Yeah. Well, that's because there's probably some drugs involved. But
Oh yeah, think.
let me ask this question before we get out of here. So, like, you grew up in Houston and now you live here. Like, people like, I don't know, they like give Albuquerque this rap that we're like a rough city.
Yeah, we
Compared
are.
to Houston, how rough do you think Albuquerque is? No,
It's a different type of rough.
it
Like,
is.
so in Houston, right? You have your neighborhoods where you just know, like, Texas as a state is very like you fuck around, you're gonna find out, right?
Yeah.
Houston is very similar to that, but like pretty much like people just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But like there's certain neighborhoods where it's like if you go there and you do a certain thing or look a certain way, like you got to be on your toes.
Okay, but Albuquerque used to be that way. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as
It's
it
not
used
as
to be.
bad now. What I would call Albuquerque, Houston's also a lot bigger though. It's like
Yeah.
8 times. the
Oh no,
size.
it's like it's
Huge.
Yeah.
it takes turns trading with Chicago
for number 3.
for number 3, largest city in the United States.
And Albuquerque, it's the biggest city out here. But
Yeah.
it's still a small town.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and I call this it's a small town with big city aspirations.
Right.
And
literally,
not a bad thing, right?
No.
I can run from one side of this town to the other side of the town.
Right.
It's not that big.
And so with Albuquerque, like, it's not saying that people here aren't like hard motherfuckers. We're not saying that. I'm saying is like you're only a big deal here,
Sure.
right? And
Yeah.
and so there's a chip on the shoulder a lot of people out here will have, and they're very you're not super welcoming to outsiders here.
No, fuck no.
And like part of me, like I mean, whatever city I'm in, I just try to better that community in whatever way I can, right?
Every punch counts.
Yeah. So
I'm
like,
just
but
kidding.
I love Albuquerque. I love it out here.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have the same set of fears. Like, okay,
Right.
what here? I'm completely comfortable walking home at 2 a.m. downtown,
Same.
right?
Same.
In Houston, I'm not doing that.
Fuck no. Right. Certain neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest difference. And like I'm pretty well known in Houston. Like, you know,
I'm gonna throw your name
you
around.
know,
We'll see.
yeah, it's well, yeah. Hey, if you go, go to the Heights area, go to those bars,
Yeah.
they'll know.
See, here's what I think about Albuquerque. Albuquerque, I feel like the danger is you're less apt to get in a fight, more apt to getting shot.
Yeah,
Because people are more apt because like they're like, oh, you disrespect me, I'm gonna shoot you. Not
Right.
fight you. Like where other places they might fight you. I mean, a lot of places they'll shoot you. I mean, I don't know. But like you do have to if you are downtown, it's not bad to be which is anywhere, keep your head on a swivel.
right.
But that's
Anywhere.
That's it. Well, yeah, because it's weird. We make these lists of like we most dangerous state in the United States, number 1. We made the list. Did you see that?
I did.
I know that's a lot of different factors, but I'm like, wait
I
a
got
minute,
shot the other day.
you did not.
I think when they talk about danger, I think it's more so.
yeah. I mean, there's
It's possibility of
yes. I mean, we drive like shit.
yeah.
You could
that is.
fall off a cliff hiking. You could
Green chili will wreck your
But, like,
intestines,
okay. Now, when I talk to people about Albuquerque, and they're like, I heard it's pretty rough there. Here's what I say. I'm like, okay, like I'm not gonna walk around the war zone at like 3 a.m.
yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Like you're just an idiot if you're doing that, right? You know what I mean?
That's where I work.
And that's where Smiley works. Now, are we the was it east side of St. Louis? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the place? Right? Are we no? Are we Flint, Michigan? Are we Gary, Indiana? No. You know?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. And like, if you know, like someone's like, do you know Gary, Indiana? Do you know about that place? Yeah. And it's funny because I'll bring that one up and people are like, what's Gary, Indiana? And I go, oh, Google it.
Yeah.
go watch the YouTube videos about it. Yeah.
Those are out there.
we're not those places, right? Those are places I would be scared shitless to walk around. Like, I remember I went to Chicago and a friend of, like, I've been to Chicago many times, and like this guy, he was going to take a bulletproof vest with us to Chicago. And I was like, dude, we're going to Chicago. And he's like, my coworker, he works on Gibson in the war zone in a liquor store. And he was like going to bring a bulletproof vest to
Gibson
go to
and Valencia, yeah.
He was going to bring a bulletproof vest to go to the north side of Chicago. I was like, dude,
yeah, don't worry about that.
Dude, fuck no. Like, we're going to worry about getting killed with kindness, you know, like nice people.
Yeah.
Oh, how's the Cubs win today? You know, like, nah, not a damn.
I didn't know.
But it was funny because we did stay in this motel that was pretty rough. But like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, it didn't bother me not one time.
I was like in Houston,
yeah.
In Houston, the majority of the city is super nice.
Yeah.
Even the dangerous parts they're trying to gentrify right now.
Yeah.
The problem is, like,
I like that city a lot, man.
There's some spots like I just know not to go, like Sunnyside.
Yeah.
I'm not going to I'm not. My house in Houston is it's Third Ward, but it's right inside the loop.
Okay.
So there's the loop, Sunnyside's on one side of the loop, and there's where my house is, that part of Third Ward,
okay.
Yellowstone specifically.
Okay.
And like again, it's like, am I gonna go shoot hoops at Yellowstone Park? Probably not.
Yeah.
Am I gonna take my dog on a walk in Sunnyside? Probably not.
Right.
Am I gonna go to? Probably. I was in high school, and all the guys were like, "Oh, there's this park. There's McGregor Park. We can all go play basketball there." I went to an all boys private school, and I was like, "Hey guys, like that's my neighborhood, and
I'm not gonna hang out there.
Probably shouldn't do that." Why? I'm like, we can go try. Like, so we would go. We were playing.
We could go try.
So we went and we were playing, and all the guys there, they knew me and they knew my uncles and stuff. They're like, "Oh. Yeah, you're not like them." Like, yeah, you can chill here. Right. The rest of them, like, yeah, you know, y'all just shooting hoops, cool. But like in between games, they're smoking weed on the side. You know, we got 40s lined up on the baseline, like stuff like that. It's just a different, and then they don't, even those people, they're not looking to fuck you up.
No, but if they see a situation,
it's there. And that's pretty much everywhere in Houston. It's just, if you don't look for stuff, you're not gonna find it.
Right.
But if you're looking for it, you know.
In Albuquerque, literally the only place I will not go hang out is like the International District War Zone.
Literally, dude. That's night. Like work. That's where I work.
And that's literally like any other part of Albuquerque, I will go. Don't give a fuck. Like whatever. Don't care. Like there's nothing, like there's not like, and that's when like
sell them their booze. They love.
So when these lists come out and they talk about how awful it is, I'm just excited because then I'm like, oh, cool, less people to move here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, less gentrification, less whatever. You know,
I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan of people. Like a lot of people here love Balloon Fiesta.
Fuck no, thank you.
Fucking hate it.
Fucking hate it because like you always forget. And you're like, yeah, let's go out and eat. And then you like pull in and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. Or you're driving and like, wow, traffic.
Fuck. Or you're on the freeway in a van with the basket on the back, pulls onto the freeway going 30. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
This is terrible, man.
And oh God. Yeah. And it's so funny because and for the longest time, I didn't even know the statistics. Well, here's why it sucks. I'll tell you why. Because you know how many people live in Albuquerque, right? 900,000, little under a million, right?
I think it's about 70 people.
No. So 900 and something thousand people live here. During Balloon Fiesta, in those 10 days, 800 and like 50,000 people come here. So our city doubles in population. Well, we don't have the infrastructure for that.
Yeah.
We do not have an infrastructure for almost 2 million people. And it's amazing for the fucking economy. Crippling for like, because like if you want to go out and eat, you're like, well, that's a 45-minute wait to get into fucking Wendy's,
Right.
you know.
Dude, I don't even like Art Walk. I walk in and I'm like, oh fuck, it's the first Friday of the month. God damn it! Like I can't drink where I want to.
You and I are friends now.
I can't.
You and I are friends now.
I don't like it.
My friend's like, you're getting real curmudgeon. I'm like, I don't like all this bullshit happening where I can't go do the things that I love. Because somebody gets to come downtown and have a night.
Yeah.
Fuck
you
off.
guys want to go slumming in Albuquerque? Good job.
I like, dude. You and I are fucking friends right now. That's my shit right there. I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's how it is in Houston for rodeo season. The normal population
PBR
is around 6 million.
Yeah.
No, this is the Houston rodeo, not even associated with PR. Just it's like a bunch of concerts back. It's like 3 months of concerts.
Fuck.
But the population doubles, and like this is back when I was in middle school.
That's like 10 million people.
Yeah, when I was in middle school, high school, our population was only 4 million. And
yeah,
it would double to,
barely.
It would
barely
double to 8 million during the rodeo.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is bullshit. And I love the rodeo because the food's amazing. But I just all the extra people I can do without.
Sarah says we're talking about Balloon Fiesta. It's also an early morning event most days, which means that nightlife does not benefit at all. At all. Yeah. Right.
That's very true. And like if you're gonna come out here, at least throw some like, at least throw your whole clothes on and let me see it. That's what I want to know. Like I'm trying to see some cheeks while we out here.
In like the other event that's big is like State Fair. And every fucking year I get roped into this and I forget, like my friends who have money still, and like this is like an Albuquerque like tradition, is like Dollar Day. Like Dollar Day is for people that that like struggle, and it's like and it's like and my friends look at me every time. They're like, "Are we going to State Fair this year?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." They're like, "Wednesday is the only day I can really go," and I'll be like, I'm free Wednesday," and then I'll look at the fucking calendar as soon as we agree, and I'll be like, "Dollar fucking day, you got me, you motherfuckers got me," and you show up, and it's like stroller city. There's stroller, like people are in front of you with like I don't even know how people have so many, like they'll have like I didn't know they made strollers in like triple.
Stop reproducing, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, man,
all of your babies.
Bro, I'm over it. And like people think it's weird, but like I don't think eugenics is that bad.
Yeah. So Sarah just said, "Damn, Juan brought up the rodeo," and Kelly was in the other room and said, yelling, "Yes, exactly." Because he's from Houston. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It's like I don't like it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
And that's
my brother loves the rodeo. My brother's the extrovert, right?
Wait a minute. Your brother. Okay, I'm not trying to stereotype it. You guys don't look like rodeo people. I grew up rodeo. Yeah. So not doing it, watching.
My brother is, and like me, I love my cowboy boots. I got my cowboy hat.
All right.
That. Like very. I'm an Eagle Scout. Like so, I've done some. Like,
I saw this. You're an Eagle Scout. I meant to get into that.
But my brother loves the rodeo. My brother is an investment banker, right?
What the? Okay, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah. So
loves the rodeo. An investment banker.
Yeah. He shoots shotguns professionally, right? So he's on the rodeo committee. And every year he's like, "Hey man, I can get you in for free. Like, do you want to come?" I'm like,
"Yeah, I'm good."
The last time, I don't like the rodeo. It's overpriced liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I like there is the food. Like, I don't even go there. I used to like enjoy going there to like find a date, but now I'm not.
Like, you don't like watching the events though?
I do enjoy it.
Which event?
I love watching all the cowboy events. Right?
Bull riding.
Bareback horse riding.
Like the problem,
Broncos. I love it all.
So I grew up farming and ranching. I grew up with people who rodeo, like people who bronc rode, people who rode bulls, people who roping. roping was a way of
is
life.
amazing.
Healing and a header. You know, I'm a healer, I'm a header. I'm a healer. Now, I get, like, when I bring it up, people are always like, it's terrible, towards the animals, and I get it. But man, the visceralness of bull riding. Jesus Christ. It's like if a human being could ride a Dodge Viper for 8 seconds and not get killed. Not just fucking, do it, but man. So like in college, I went to Eastern New Mexico. They had a rodeo team, and like a kid got killed. He got thrown off a bull, and the bull stomped in his chest and killed him.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean it's a damn thing. So like bull riding to me is like boxing. It's like MMA.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that thread of like F1 racing.
Yeah.
You know, like there's that, but like in all those, there's no animal cruelty, and I get that, I get it, but like motherfuck, man, watching the guy come out on a bull and the bull, like I almost and I know there's some meanness towards the bull, but like the bull could kill him. Like the bull, like there's a chance. The bull has a chance, Bronc riding's the same way, like to me, but like roping like is a little more cruel to me because there's no like they're not the calf isn't gonna fuck the cowboy up, But bull riding, like Jesus, it's something to see. And
the barrel racing's cool.
It's cool as well, right? But I always love it. Here's you've been there. So they always do this at the beginning. They're all, ladies and gentlemen, rise up in your seats and take your hats off because we're about to salute the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Like that's how the announcer always does, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like fuck, But anyway, it's a thing. I grew up with it, and like and I get the criticisms of it. But man, I'll watch it a little bit.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
But I got you.
What did Kelly say?
Barrel racing forever.
Yeah,
forever. All right, let's get out of here on this. So you got a fight coming up when?
June 21st.
Yeah,
Nashville, Florida. Good old Nash Vegas.
It's Kelly says in Texas they do Texas first. That's right.
That's right.
Texas forever.
Yep.
What do you have? And you have comedy coming up?
Yeah, May 20th, I'll be at the Block doing some comedy, cracking some jokes. May 28th, Bourbon and Boots, cracking more jokes.
Nice.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice, very nice, very nice. There will be no podcast live next Sunday. I'm not saying we're not doing a podcast. I'm just saying there will not be one live. Smiley and I will be at Sandia Music and Sound. We are recording a special show at Sandia Music and Sound. It's called the Sandia Sessions. Our friends who do the theme song of this show, Youngsville, we are going to do a show where they are going to play and we're going to interview them. It's going to be a very special thing. We're going to do this whole YouTube thing. We're going to play. We're going to do something different. Just next Sunday, not after that, but just next Sunday. I don't even know what Smiley's going to do. I'm trying to figure all this out. I have a week to figure this out. So,
oh yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, we're gonna
definitely now drive up there.
This is gonna be a thing where people can come out live and watch this for free, but you're gonna need to personal message me on social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. If you want to come out and watch live, it's gonna be around 6:00 on Sunday. 6:00 on Sunday, we're gonna record this. We're gonna have a live band, and we're gonna be live. It's going to be different. I can't really explain. We're going to record it. We're going to film it. And we're going to edit it. And we're going to put it out on social media. It's going to be cool. I think. I'm hoping. We're going to try. We're trying to do. Here's one of those things where we're just like, they want me to come and do a live show. And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to do something cool. And I want to make it look cool. And I want people to love it. And I want to help our friends out. So that's going to happen next Sunday. So if you want to go, 6 p.m., around, I would get there before Sandia Music and Sound. We're gonna record. It's gonna be about an hour long. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna have multiple cameras. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what it's gonna be, but we'll see. That's gonna happen. Then there's Duke City Championship Wrestling. We're gonna be at Hollow Spirits on. Let me pull this up. We're gonna do a live show outside, live wrestling outside on June 28th at Hollow Spirits. Go get your tickets. And then Smiley and I will be in Houston on June 20th through the 22nd for Comic Palooza.
We're doing like a whole road trip for that.
We're doing a whole road trip. We're gonna go. We're gonna drive to Houston.
Thank you.
We're gonna
every time I go to
because I've never been to Austin.
Yeah, we're making a little
like we have a place to stay in Houston. We have nowhere to stay on the way. Like we're gonna figure it out.
It's
like
a 12-hour drive, man. I just do it straight through.
Oh yeah, man.
You fucking drive straight through?
Yeah.
I throw on a podcast.
A podcast, the 12-hour podcast.
Or I'll just listen to an audiobook as I drive.
Yeah. That's I love that.
I do all my self-development on long drives.
Nice. Nice. All right. But we're going to be down there. I mean, those are some things we have coming up. I mean, and then second Saturday at the Annex, the Box Theater, almost AAA Cabaret. Come out, watch. Carissa got a little woo-hoo at the last one, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. But definitely come out. Check out Juan Adams. Go to his social media. You have at Chosen Juan285 on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Add Smiley. Smiley's on Instagram now at Papa Smilf.
Oh god damn it, that's right.
Add you posted again. You have two. He has 2 posts now. I had to make him join Instagram.
They put me on Instagram. They made it happen.
So it's a thing. But I want to thank Juan Adams for being on the show. I think we're all friends now, right?
Okay.
We're not going to fight downtown, I don't think.
Never.
I never. Wow. No.
Thank God. If someone's fighting you, I'll come help
Okay.
by saying that was a dumb idea to them. But thank you for coming on, man. I look forward to watching you fight. I look forward to watching you do comedy. I look forward to watching you grow as a performer and as an athlete. So it's going to be great. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Smiley. And with that,
we are 10 drink minimum.